Hey there, legends. Chronos here, back with another wild ride. Today we're diving into a mind-blowing mashup. What If Deku Had Solo Leveling System, Part 1. If you're all about epic anime crossovers, insane power-ups, and non-stop action, then you're in the right place. Before we jump in, smash that subscribe button and hit that like button. We've set a goal of 100 likes for the next video, and I know you can do it. A huge shout out to Michael Zielonka, the mastermind author behind this idea. So be sure to check out their work and show them some support. Your continuous support means the world to me, and I'm stoked to share this journey with you all, my awesome squad. Let's get into the epic action. Katsumi Bakugo couldn't breathe. She went with her underlings after trying to get her childhood friend to quit being a hero by some unspeakable methods, i.e. saying to jump of a roof. Yeah, her plan on making Izuku Midoriya, or Deku as she called him, stop being a hero. But how could she protect him in the future? Her plan was to marry him after, but how could she say that after all of the things she had done to him? Katsumi's plan was making Izuku help her with her own agency or stay-at-home husband. What is worse is seeing him running to her and trying to save her. Wait. Izuku is coming to save me. Shit. Whilst the young man tried to claw her out and eventually got her in a grip and pulled her out, he then pushed her behind him. What she saw next will give her nightmares. All Might coming in and punching the villain, but when Izuku pushed Katsumi behind him, he was in a line of fire of All Might's punch. The force smashed him in a wall, causing him to bleed from his head and eventually make him unconscious. With only 2 words she heard him mutter, "I accept." Then things for him gone black. The next thing the Ash Blonde done was run to Izuku, trying to wake him up whilst shouting at the stunned All Might. Later, whilst she was praised by the heroes with them trying to badmouth Izuku, she shouted to them to do something as her Izuku was bleeding, and they did nothing to help her, but it was her nerd that did something. A quirkless childhood friend. Her crush since she could remember. She knew it will become worse for him as he has no living relatives in Japan. Additionally, his dad was an asshole for her. He was working in USA and visits during summers. All she could do was wait and pray for him to heal well. Izuku during this time. Izuku also didn't have a good day. Katsumi Bakugo, or to him Kaken. Up until today, that was when she said to take a swan dive of the roof to get a quirk during the next life, with her throwing his notebook out of the window. Then he was attacked by a sludge villain and saved by All Might. When he asked All Might if a quirkless person could become a hero, he denied it and also accidentally shown him his small form due to Izuku jumping onto the 8th user's legs. He really considered to jump there, and then his mother died due to a villain attack, and his father was in America sending him money to live. Honestly, his father was the only one keeping him alive. He loved his father, especially visiting him during summertime. When walking down, he heard an explosion. Feeling his feet taking him to the sound, he sighed and continued. There was a crowd with some heroes standing there, except one which was controlling water to stop the fires from spreading. When seeing his childhood friend in pain from her eyes, he moved. He didn't know what to do, but he threw his backpack at the sludge villain and started to claw out his bully. Once seeing her arm, he pulled her behind him to protect her from the inevitable attack from the villain. But what he didn't expect was All Might coming and punching the villain away with himself too. Slamming head first to the wall, thinking of how he wanted to live, he saw a message. Alarm! You have completed all the necessary requirements of the secret quest, Courage of the Weak. What's this? Secret quest? Completed all the requirements, he asked in his mind. Alarm! You have completed all the necessary requirements of the secret quest, Courage of the Weak. You have earned the right to become a player. Will you accept? Player? What's going on? Izuku started to wonder more. You do not have much time remaining. If you refuse, your heart will stop approximately 0.02 seconds later. Will you accept? Accept/refuse. If I accept, I don't have to die. Then with a weak voice, he muttered, I accept. Then the one mentioned went into a coma for the foreseeable future. Welcome, player. Time skip 6 months. The time Izuku woke up was like a bang. Firstly, he inspected himself, then asked himself, was this a dream? He still continued to pant and sweat. I think it was. Yeah, how could he unlock a quirk after 15 years? Then a nurse came and they started small talk like how long and what happened. Apparently, he was in a coma for 6 months. Oh great. What about my apartment? When she left, Izuku asked himself once again. Could it be that she can't see it? What he is talking about was a blue screen above him. Message. You have one unread mail. Damn. My head hurts. Are those phantom pain from the hit? After a couple of minutes of trying to calm his head down, the greenette thought whilst looking at the blue bow, "Can I touch it?" After his finger fading through it, guess it's not a touch screen. Open mail. Welcome player. 1 unread message. Daily quest. Preparing to become strong has arrived. The system will help the player's growth. If he fails to obey the system's orders, there may be a penalty. Your rewards have arrived. What is it telling me to do? Rewards? Quest? This feels similar to the notification after the sludge villain, Izuku mused to himself internally. Daily quest. Preparing to become strong has arrived. Unread. Prepare to become strong? Check. Quest directions. Daily quest. Getting ready to become powerful goal. Incomplete. Push-ups 0 out of 100. Incomplete. Curl-ups 0 out of 100. Incomplete. Sit-ups 0/100. Incomplete. Squats 0 out of 100. Incomplete. Run 0/10 km. Warning. Failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. Haha. What is this? A joke? I don't have enough strength to do it today. I will start to do it tomorrow. Izuku whispered to himself. Warning. Failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. The time was ticking with Izuku sleeping like a baby. Time skipped midnight. Alarm. You have not completed the daily quest. You are now heading towards the penalty zone for a certain period of time. Earth you quake? Izuku screamed out. He then realized that his hospital bed turned into sand. Looking around, he saw himself on a sandy area where a sunset is occurring. Realizing that something is moving, the sand dunes to be exact. Sweating at the looks of it, he saw a dark red name above the centipede monster thing, Poison Fang Giant Sand Centipede. Quest directions. Penalty quest. Survive goal. Survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours. Time remaining, 3 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Time remaining, 3 hours 59 minutes and 58 seconds. Time remaining, 3 hours 59 minutes and 57 seconds. Gulping down his fear, he looked at the drawling image of a centipede with sharp teeth with a long red tongue licking its lips. You gotta be kidding me. With him using a secret move he was practicing for 11 years. Running away. Sometime later, was the sound that Izuku was producing whilst he was running away. Why, you may ask? Simple. There are 12 large centipedes behind him trying to make the gamer into their meal. When he thought he was going to die, penalty quest. Survive goal. Survive until the timer runs out. Time required, 4 hours. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 4 seconds. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 3 seconds. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 2 seconds. Time remaining, 0 hours 0 minutes and 1 second. Alarm. You have completed the penalty quest. This was the moment he was teleported out of the desert into his hospital room. Seeing the same alert, he muttered, penalty quest. Your rewards for completing the penalty quest have arrived. Would you like to accept? Accept/refuse. With that, our 15-year-old protagonist fainted. He was later on found by a nurse that got him onto his bed, which caused some shock due to the sand that was found on the ground. Time skip 1 week. A couple of nurses were commenting about young Izuku Midoriya health. He was seen doing his daily run. The next day, the greenette started to do his exercises, and today was his 7th day of doing this exercise. First thing first, the blue box in front of his eyes were not an illusion. It was an actual messaging system from this system. Alarm. Complete. Running 10 kilometers. 10/10 kilometer. You have completed your daily quest. You receive the following rewards. Reward 1. Status recovery. Reward 2. Stat points +3. Reward 3. Random box +1. Will you accept? Accept/reject. Accept all. With that, a golden light encompassed the greenette and all of his fatigue has left. This was the second thing. The so-called system was similar to a quirk, but with some kind of magic. He theorized that he could store the status recovery for the physical day. You have received the random box. This was an interesting development. After every daily, he got a random box. Apparently, it can give him anything, but the probability is low for higher. Random box rarity scale junk. 90% E, 9% D, 0.9% C, 0.09% B, 0.009% A, 0.0009% S, 0.00009% S plus, 0.00001%. During the week, Izuku received 6 junk and 1 D-rank item, which was a sword that gave him a plus 10 in strength. The junk item today was a Maruko pen, a useful item if you think about it. He wouldn't need to spend 180 yen for a pen. Talking about strength, the new gamer discovered his status, where he could level up by some means and get a job. Status, name, Izuku Midoriya job, none title, none level, 1 fatigue, 0 HP, 160 MP, 35 strength, 16 agility, 13 sense, 13 vitality, 13 intelligence, 13 remaining points. 3. He experimented with all of the abilities, but in general he thought he will need to maximize all stats so he can enter UA in less than 4 months' time. Strength is pretty straightforward, the one with the most visible improvement. At 10 points, he could hardly lift his bed up. But when he made it to 13, it was easier to pick it up with 2 hands. He also realized that strength is used in speed, how fast you can run. Agility is how flexible one can be. At 10, Izuku could feel more agile, but increasing allowed him to be a little faster moving in air but on ground too. This also helps with reflexes, as he had noted down. Sense is probably the second easiest to explain. It allows you to feel where someone or something is even if not visible. It enhanced Izuku's senses, such as smell, touch, hearing, taste, eyesight, and bloodlust sensing, as he discovered walking around. Some people naturally produce bloodlust, he guessed, but it is still weak compared to the other senses. Vitality is there to improve your health by increasing your HP bar. The bigger the HP, the lower the chance for you not to die as fast as he could with a lower HP. He theorizes that with a bigger HP, more damage he could take. Intelligence was the hardest for Izuku to see what it does. It increases MP, or also known as mana, but also the ability to multitask and think fast increases. Additionally, he could remember more, causing him to think that he is slowly gaining photographic memory. There was a lot of theorizing, but as he could analyze a quirk, he did it on himself to see what he could improve on. He had 3 remaining points, so he gave 2 to sense and 1 to agility. Lower down, he found that he has a couple of skills, passive, unknown, max, muscularity, LV.1, active sprint, LV.1. He had achieved muscularity and sprint during the penalty zones. He had no idea what the unknown does though, but its level is maxed out. Lastly, he found out that there are so-called dungeons. He received it by a random box reward from the penalty zone. Item, dungeon key, item class. E-type, key, a key that allows you to create an instant dungeon. You may use this in the entrance to the station near Airjet's Hero Agency. So after being allowed to leave for a couple of hours for business by the hospital, he headed straight to the Airjet's Hero Agency so he could enter his first gate. First person Izuku. It was a week after I woke up from my coma. I became a little nervous, but due to the gamer's mind, I calmed down a bit. I was one of the weakest in the world before my awakening. Other people would laugh at me if they heard what I am about to do. What would Kacha no Katsumi think about me? Never mind her, actually. I muttered slowly to himself. I was going to do it, obviously, as I am standing just outside the station right now. I am comfortable in my ability to run, especially with my sprint skill. So if it becomes too dangerous, I will run away. I then plunged the key in midair, causing a small blue portal to appear. Walking through it, I received a notification. Alarm! You have entered the instant dungeon. I became confused. Are there different dungeons? Then I realized the exit just closed. No way. The entrance got closed. I saw a person near me, but he walked through it. Is this some other dimension? Breathing out slowly, I muttered, I need to get stronger, so I can show them a Deku like me can become the strongest. Alarm! You cannot leave the dungeon. Either kill the boss or use the return crystal. I can't leave before I kill the boss. Damn, then I heard a noise. Footsteps, to be more precise. If it wasn't for the system, I would have definitely shat my pants. What I saw was 3 zombie-like creatures with weapons. Their speed wasn't impressive, so I rushed at one and punched it. I didn't expect that only the left arm of one was flown off. Expecting for the zombie to be in pain, I lowered my guard a little, but my body moved on its own again, but backward. Damn! I then looked at the name. It was orange and it read, "Weaponized Zombie." Some concentration went to the reading of the name, so I didn't have much time to sense the other two zombies. Cursing again, I jumped over them and kicked the floor whilst I was flying down to create a minor crater. I quickly took out my sword that I received from the random box. Item: Steel Blade Item Class. D-Type: Sword, plus 10 attack. Smirking, I went again and this time cut one of the zombies in half, thanking any deity above for the luck of the draw. You have defeated the weaponized zombie. You leveled up. Damn, 2 more to go. With that, I dodged a slash from one of them and made a comeback slash through the middle. I hope I can get used to killing those monsters. Dodging a spear strike from the last one, I made a diagonal slash through the body of the zombie, killing it. You have defeated the weaponized zombie X2. You leveled up. Wow. Usually in games there are things to collect. I wondered. Looking through the 3 dead zombies, I found 3 broken weapons, 3 rotten flesh. Item: Weaponized zombies flesh. Item class: None. Type: Junk, a piece of flesh from a zombie. You can keep it in your inventory or sell it in the store. There is a store too, I mused to myself. Buy, sell. Damn, what can I buy? Alarm. Your level is not enough to buy from the store. Looks like new players can't use this function. I sighed in disappointment. Would you like to sell? Item: Weaponized zombies flesh. Sell/cancel. Yes. When putting in the flesh, I received 15 gold per flesh. 45 gold for the 3. Leaving the broken weapons, I mused. This is an E rank dungeon. I wonder how much an A or an S rank junk item would sell for? The broken weapons of that quality gave me 0 gold, so that is why I left them. What do I do now? Taking in a deep breath, I could leave when I got a return crystal. Then I slapped myself. No, I need to get stronger. I don't know when I can get a key again. No bad thoughts, Izuku. You will not die from the boss, I thought at the end. Spotting at least 20 glowing red eyes from the zombies, I weakly smirked. Bring it on. With that call, the zombies began to come closer while some throwing daggers, spears at me. Due to me putting points, I already died before, by all might. Being attacked by the sludge villain was way scarier than you all. With that, I began slashing, dodging, and killing the zombies. I won't die that easily, so you all shouldn't die too easily either, or I'll feel sorry. Fight fiercely, no hesitation, I thought to myself. Continuing, as much as my body can endure. You leveled up. Suddenly I got cut over my left arm. Hissing in pain, I endured and killed the zombie that cut me. You leveled up. If I die, then what was the point of living? I will succeed to become the #1 hero. Fatigue. 34. You leveled up. Finishing taking care of those 20 zombies, I took a break to lower my fatigue. When it came down to 16, I walked further in and saw more weaponized zombies with a different kind of zombie mixed in. Archer zombies. Alarm. You have earned title Zombie Slayer. Your stats will increase by 20% when facing a dead opponent such as zombies. You also gain 40% more experience killing dead opponents. Status name: Izuku Midoriya. Job: None. Title: Zombie Slayer. Level: 5 fatigue, 16 HP, 660 MP, 100 strength, 21 agility, 19 sense, 20 vitality, 18 intelligence, 18 remaining points, 0. Bring it on, I said with a more confident smile. Their names started to turn lighter orange than white. There were a couple of different zombies, however my level isn't rising. I realized that the colors indicate the level of difficulty. White ones mean they are weak. Orange means they are strong, should be slightly above my level. Red means they are stronger than my current self, I guessed. Since the zombies were orange at the beginning and now they are white, it means I have become quite a bit stronger. Level 15. But even with my current level, I am not sure if I can beat that guy down there, I muttered. Also, I received a return crystal from a zombie drop. Item: Return crystal. Item class: Type: Crystal. A return crystal allows you to leave instant dungeons. If not used, then it will be automatically deleted after finishing the dungeon. I can't stop here. Getting some motivation, I started to walk down the stairs where I was hit with a burned flesh smell of some kind. Suddenly something came at me with ferocious speed. Fast. That's the only logical thought I had whilst blocking with my chipped sword. The punch caused me to get smashed against a wall with me spitting some blood out. Coughing out a bit, I realized my sword is broken in two. I thought I leveled up quite a bit. But I was wrong. Whilst looking up, I saw the name with a color of dark orange. Undead Ruler, Rockgut the Ghoul. Thinking quickly as I don't want to be eaten by a ghoul, I jumped to the left thinking of a plan. The skin looks really tough. Slashed and punches won't have much or any effect. It lunged at me. While still dodging, I tried to see if my theory was correct with punches. I smirked when there was a tiny crack in the skin, meaning my theory was disproven. Yes, it worked, but barely. I need to weaken this guy to defeat it. Came back with more speed and punched me again. I luckily blocked it, but I thought I might die if this continues. It took me an extra 2 minutes to actually get a hit in, but I wasn't doing too well on my part. My health was low and fatigue is getting higher. Fatigue, 47, HP, 850/1860. One reason I added points to intelligence was due to one skill sprint. Skill sprint, active. Uses 50 MP to start, then uses 1 MP per minute it used. The total speed increases by 30%. Activating spring, I surprised the boss enough for me to stab the broken sword in the eye. Whilst it was thrashing, I went behind it and latched onto the neck. Using my strength, I decided to crush its breathing option. I need to become stronger so I won't be seen as useless. More thrashing happened, but when the boss made me hit the wall, I nearly let the monster go. Digging my fingers in further, the ghoul coughed up some green blood. With a shout of "Die!" the windpipe was crushed, causing it to die. In the hospital, no more Izuku POV. Izuku Midoriya still isn't back yet? A doctor asked. Yes, he went out in the morning. The receptionist/nurse replied. Why isn't he returning even after sunset? Apparently he had business in town, but he's also recovered a lot and will be discharged soon. The nurse dutifully replied. Does he have some sort of regeneration quirk? We should stabilize him indoors. The doctor frowned at that. In our system, it says he is quirkless. But I guess from the near-death experience, he could have unlocked one. I guess I will call the association to check the quirk factor. The doctor replied, still frowning. With Izuku, third person. You leveled up? You leveled up? You leveled up? Breathing heavily, Izuku sat against the ghoul. I guess I got a bit stronger? I am beginning to feel like a hunter. Alarm! You have slain Undead Ruler Rockgut the Ghoul. Oh, it dropped 2 items. The greenette mused to himself. Item: Rockgut Blood. Item class: A-type, Potion, a pouch that contains Rockgut purified blood. Attainable by defeating Rockgut. Unlikely drop rate: drinking it will give you harder skin and pain nullification but will weaken your agility. Effect: Rockgut Rock Skin. Minus 10% physical damage taken. Effect: Rockgut Pain Nullifier. Minus 15% pain felt. Debuff weakened movement. Minus 25 agility. Item: Rockgut Gauntlet. Item class: C-type, Gauntlet attack. Plus 15 defense. Plus 5% gauntlet that can cover your right hand. It is perfect for attack and defense. It has a slight paralyzing effect due to leftover ghoul's blood. Grants contagious effect. Can be equipped, stored, or sold. Effect: Paralyze. Attacked foes have a chance of having their limb unable to move. Effect: Contagious. If gauntlets touch a bleeding area, the area of effect will cause the attacked spot to be contaminated. Causes 1% loss of their health per 1 second. The gauntlet sounds pretty cool. I wonder if I can get a dagger too? Izuku mused. But compared to Rockgut Blood, it is awkward to use. I'll store it for now. Alert! The boss has been slain. The dungeon's interior will revert to normal. And I am back at the station, Izuku muttered. He realized that his clothes are cut, so he changed it with a cloak that he received from a zombie. But what caught him off was that there was no people around. Walking out of the station, someone asked Izuku, "Who are you?" A policeman with a cat's face asked who the greenette is. "How did you come out from there? Didn't you hear the broadcast?" The Midoriya's eyes widened in surprise. What happened? He didn't realize it yet, but Izuku didn't look like a 16-year-old scrawny kid, but at least a 17-year-old with a good amount of muscle. It could mean that the person in front was just young, looking for a hero or even a hero student. What are you saying now? The policeman realized I had a gauntlet in one hand. He asked, "Could you be a hero?" Izuku wanted to say no, but when accidentally gave a nod, he pulled the gamer and said, "This way, I will guide you, Sir Hero." Okay. But internally, the newest hunter freaked out, thinking, don't I look 16? But when Izuku saw himself, he nearly had his jaw dropped. I see, I could always look young for a hero. But what happened? The street was wrecked, cars thrown into building, and a couple of heroes fighting the large villain. Due to Izuku's sense stat, he could feel that it was a C-rank villain with a gigantification quirk. The heroes were trying to do anything and everything, but it wasn't working. The police were trying to get the civilians out of the area. However, the civilians complaining due to the length of the fight. There were multiple heroes, Backdraft, Kamui Woods, Death Arms, and Airjet. They could have easily defeated the villain if Airjet lifted Kamui for him to use his chain move. Oh well, when he saw the villain about to smash Backdraft, so he got a broken pipe from the ground and cocked his arm back. He threw it, it somehow hit the forehead of the villain, causing it to go backwards and go unconscious. A small smirk appeared on his face, thinking, I think I got a little stronger. You have defeated a villain with gigantification quirk. You leveled up. Sadly, Izuku didn't see one curious face of a new hero which was about to enter and help defeat the villain, and one face that was angry, happy, curious. Just a face only a mother could love. When the heroes and police asked who it was, the cat policeman wanted to point to the man he kind of dragged, but he was gone. One hero, Kamui Woods, thought he must have been a high-ranking hero to do it. Honestly, Kamui could have gotten Airjet to pick him up, but he couldn't ask easily, his pride maybe. For the next week, Izuku continued to do his daily quests. He only had around 16 weeks until the UA entrance exam. Izuku grown to be 5 feet 10 inches and with a more muscular build but more orientated to a swimmer's build, concentrated on speed due to his points, especially in speed. After finishing his run, he had a shower and was waiting to be discharged. During this time, he added the 3 extra points to strength. His stats looked like this: strength, 48 agility, 36 sense, 35 vitality, 35 intelligence, 33. He realized that leveling up is more efficient compared to doing the daily quest, as just in 3 hours he gained 18 points per stat from the previous dungeon. Suddenly a nurse came and told him he is free to leave, but was stopped by 2 men who rear apparently with the hero commission. Hello, Izuku Midoriya. My name Ryuta Yusuji and my partner is Kaisha Visor. Both of us are here to check your quirk factor. Ryuta spoke up. Both men were shorter than Izuku and were wearing black suits. Nodding, Izuku was taken to a separate room with the 2 men. If you are wondering, yes, I do have a quirk, but I am still working out the kinks of it. Placing a quirk factor detector, Kaisha spoke up. I can sense it. My quirk allows me to have a minor insight of a quirk. But firstly, put your hand on the crystal. When a number was there, Kaisha hummed. You do seem to have a powerful quirk factor. I presume you have awakened it during the sludge attack. Receiving a nod of understanding. I can sense an adaptation type mixed in with something else, but I cannot tell you what it is as I don't know. Sighing inside the brain of one Izuku Midoriya, Ryuta continued. We will place the name adapter, but it will have an ability to expand when you find more uses. Izuku bowed. Thank you both. Once again nodding, Izuku went home. Thank God that they didn't figure it's an RPG quirk, but I still wonder where and how I got it. So far I would say I am at least a D rank level. Hopefully I can get higher before UA. I need to become stronger to actually show my quirk. During the time he was exercising, he also found a C rank dungeon key, which will be extremely useful. The downside was that he didn't know where to open it. Later that night, after going home, he decided to go on a walk to pass the time. Izuku was in an area where Limelight heroes don't patrol due to Izuku being in his thoughts. A group of 6 people approached Izuku to gang up on him. Suddenly the key activated on his own, sucking all 7 people in. What? Don't tell me this is the area. Izuku asked himself, and who are you guys? Alert! You are in a dungeon. The leader coughed, trying to regain his posture. Hey kid, the hell are we? Rubbing the back of his head sheepishly, Izuku said, sorry, I guess my quirk activated on its own. Basically, we are in a dungeon similar to video games. We have to defeat the boss to leave here. Another one asked, so we can use our quirks as we want? Sounding pretty excited. Basically, we have to kill the monsters that appear. Though inside Izuku was worried. How the hell did this happen? When Izuku heard some fast-moving monsters, he yelled, guys, they are coming. When everyone was in position, they hear looking around. Then Izuku yelled again, above us. The monsters were identified as lizard types. He read the name in the inside of his head, with them having a light orange color to the name. 4-eyed lizard. Punching one then another was a good idea as it was an instant kill. He looked back at the group of 6 and they were doing pretty good. Fireballs, a shield, and swords cutting the lizards. Izuku killed a couple more and saw the notifications. You have defeated Four-Eyed Lizard X5. You leveled up. After clearing that area, the group walked forward and saw a graveyard full of mutilated lizards. Gulping their fear, they walked further. It is the boss room, get ready, Izuku stated. But they walked into a room filled with blue crystals. The 6 gang members were filled with excitement, but when they walked a bit forward, they met the boss. It was sleeping on the floor. It was a massive dinosaur-type lizard with 8 eyes and sharp teeth. They backed back a bit, with Izuku staying in place. They all grinned. One of the men used his fireball quirk and blown the roof, separating them from Izuku so they could get the blue crystals. Izuku cursed in his mind. Realizing that it would be better to defeat the boss now and deal with them later, he set to action. The name was Dark Orange, and it said, 8-Eye T-Rex, let's do it. Izuku rushed forward, using his gained speed from his strength. Sadly, punching it with his gauntlet wasn't easy. The skin was once again hard, similar to the ghoul he faced a week ago. My level is currently 20. A C-rank boss is doable. This time, using the skill sprint, the additional 30% surprised the T-Rex, causing Izuku to punch the back of its neck, causing the area to bleed. Effect Contagious has been activated. 8-Eye T-Rex HP will reduce 1% per second. Effect Paralysis has been cancelled. The enemy is resistant to paralysis. Damn, only contagious. With a weakened body, the T-Rex couldn't dodge the punch to the side of its head. It was smashed onto a wall, presumably having over 50% of its HP down. 8-Eye T-Rex is now using the skill Survival of the Fittest. The enemy statistics go up by +10 for the next minute. Damn, bro. With that, the T-Rex used its tail to smash Izuku to the other side of the room. My HP had fallen down by 320. I need to figure out how to increase my damage reduction. The next minute of Izuku's life was punishing. Apparently the T-Rex speed increased to over 50. Luckily, Sense saved him a bit most of the time. He just realized that he needs to increase his strength more. After the minute, Izuku made a small sigh of relief that was for nothing, as 8-Eye T-Rex is now using the skill call of the Alpha. The Alpha called the 4-Eye Lizards and the 6-Eye Lizards to help it defeat you. Once again cursing, he saw a lot of eyes glowing red. The T-Rex went back, probably to regain some of its strength, so it meant Izuku needed to defeat the white 4-Eye Lizards and the light orange 6-Eye Lizards. Using his gauntlet and natural punching power, he was killing them off. After another 5 minutes, there were no more lizards. You have defeated 4-Eye Lizards X17. You have defeated 6-Eye Lizards X8. You leveled up. You leveled up. You leveled up. You leveled up. Okay, it is looking better. My stats increased by 4 and I have increased my HP by 480, even though it is still missing some. Status: Name: Izuku Midoriya. Job: None. Title: Zombie Slayer. Level: 24. Fatigue: 58 HP, 1820/3000 MP, 124/390 Strength, 53 Agility, 41 Sense, 40 Vitality, 40 Intelligence, 38 remaining points, 0 damage reduction, 5%. Now, where is the big lizard? Sensing it to the northeast of him, he used Sprint, which got his mana down another 50 MP and continued with 1 MP per second. Surprising the T-Rex, he gave a punch to the side of it but was backhanded to the side. Faster. I need to be faster. Fatigue: 64. Skill: Sprint LV.1. Active. Fatigue: 72. When the T-Rex was about to crush him, he remembered that he didn't use status recovery from the daily quest. Having a small smirk, he said, "Accept." With that, a golden light was upon him. Using this opportunity of distraction, he activated Sprint again and punched with his back into it in the brain of the T-Rex, doing it 4 more times with the effect of Contagious, making the head of the T-Rex to explode. Sighing in relief, he checked what he got. You have defeated 8-Eye T-Rex. You leveled up. You leveled up. You leveled up. You have found a dagger from the 8-Eye T-Rex. A dagger. Finally, I really needed one. So he checked the stats on it. Item: T-Rex Dagger. Item class: C-Type, Dagger Attack, +20, made out of the 8-Eye T-Rex tooth. Obtainable by defeating 8-Eye T-Rex. Unlikely drop rate: the dagger grants attack and defense. Effect: T-Rex Defense. -25% damage reduced when blocking with the dagger. Twirling the dagger with his hand, he smirked. Then another sigh left his mouth. I seem to be sighing a lot lately, as it was true as he has to deal with the other 6. Suddenly the wall exploded, with the mentioned people looking at him with shock seeing him standing near the defeated boss. Izuku's POV. It was an additional 3 weeks when I have found something out. When I was eating my food, a notification popped out. Alarm! A harmful substance has been detected. Buff. Cure poison's effect is healing you, widening my eyes at the implementation of this fact. 3, 2, 1. Cure poison has been completed. The reward of my first E-rank gate. I think I accidentally overlooked it. I then remembered the courage of the weak rewards. Quest reward. Secret quest. Courage of the weak great spellcaster Candiaru's blessing. He has gifted a special spell to you. Candiaru's blessing will ensure that you will always be strong and healthy during your lifetime. It's also thanks to this quest that I didn't have a permanent brain injury thanks to All Might. Quest reward. Temporary effect will to rehabilitate. Any dismembered body parts are restored. Permanent effect longevity. All diseases, poisons, and status effects are healed, and sleeping will explosively increase regeneration ability. If I'm immune to all poisons, that means I took out the Class A potion. Item. Rockgut Blood item class. A type, potion, a pouch that contains rockgut purified blood, obtainable by defeating rockgut. Unlikely drop rate. Drinking it will give you harder skin and pain nullification but will weaken your agility. Effect rockgut rock skin. Minus 10% physical damage taken. Effect rockgut pain nullifier. Minus 15% pain felt. Debuff weakened movement. Minus 25 agility. If status effects are automatically healed, won't this item's debuff be removed as well? There is no reason to think. With that, I drank the potion. A harmful substance has been detected in your body. 3, 2, 1. Cure poison has been completed. Item. Rockgut Blood's effect weakened movement is fading, just as I thought. Name. Izuku Midoriya Job. None title. Zombie Slayer level. 27 fatigue. 0 HP. 3560 MP. 530 strength, 78 agility, 56 sense, 53 vitality, 53 intelligence, 60 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 10% plus 5%, physical pain nullification, 15%. This caused me to smile. Even though the reduction is 10% and 15%, it was still something of note. Eventually, I will get more armor, allowing me to gain less damage. Additionally, something interesting too happened today whilst I was completing the daily quests. I accidentally did a push-up more, and I therefore decided to see how much it can rise. Complete push-ups 200/100. Complete curl-ups 200/100. Complete sit-ups 200/100. Complete squats 200/100. Complete run 20/10 kilometer. I expected to get a better reward as this was a hidden quest and it didn't disappoint. Sadly, as this was a one-time thing, this is what I got. Rewards from a hidden quest. Reward 1. Status recovery reward 2. Stat points plus 3 reward 3. Blessed random box. Select. Reward 3. Cursed random box. Select. Will you accept your rewards? Accept/refuse. I added the 3 points already into my stats and left the status recovery. The blessed random box has something that I want, but the cursed random box has something I need. So I chose the blessed one, of course, one reason being that I am happy with the way things are going, and in all honesty, I don't know what I need at this moment in time. Blessed random box. The box will be chosen in 3, 2, 1. You receive the key for the Heaven's Castle key. Item. Heaven's Castle key. Item class. S-type. Key, a key that allows you to enter dungeon. Heaven's Castle can be used in Endeavor's Hero Agency entrance. A couple of hours later, it was the dead of night and I was outside the Endeavor's Hero Agency. I had my hood up and a face mask for me to be more anonymous, so no one can track me down. Walking up to the entrance, I put the key in. However, there was one number 2 hero who was coming back from patrol that saw me enter. So I waved at him and jumped in, causing the gate to close, definitely pissing the big man off as I swore I heard flame burning or something. Jumping in, I only saw a corridor which I followed. It was beautiful if I had to say anything about it. Massive arches being placed every 20 meters or so with gold and white decorating them. Walking another 10 minutes, there was a staircase in the open air that led to a massive gate. But in front of the gate was a tall humanoid-looking figure. It had a massive pair of wings with a halo atop of his head. The face part of the body had a mask with a cross across it for the monster to breathe and see through apparently. The monster had a dark red name but also hold a weapon, which was a spear that gave off a powerful amount of energy, so I had to be careful of it. In all honesty, I didn't want to find out. Heaven's gatekeeper, Saint Peter. I will become much stronger, that is if I survived. But dying would be awkward and I wouldn't reach my goals. I can't lose here. It would be a pain getting myself to hell even though heaven is close. The best choice is to level as much as I can before UA, as I don't know how many opportunities one will have. I mused to myself whilst getting ready. Saint Peter flew at me with tremendous speed, which I dodged just in time. I tried to slash with my dagger, which made a small cut on the calf. This caused some blood to erupt from the cut. But the spear that was about to hit me hit the ground instead, causing a massive crater which nearly made me hesitate to do more. Skill Sprint LV.1 has been activated. With this moment, I tried to hit the gatekeeper once more, but it was blocked by the spear. Deactivating the skill, I was thinking of a plan of action. Jumping back, I activated another more recent skill, dodging a spear thrust once more. Skill Fireball LV.1 has been activated. I made 3 large fireballs above me and shot them at the enemy at St. Peter. I was trying to use this as a distraction, but the enemy had different plans. Heaven's gatekeeper St. Peter is using skill reflection. All mana attacks fired will be shot back with double the speed and power back to their original target's location. Oh shit! I yelled and activated the sprint skill again. I went to my inventory and got a mana potion as I only had 30 MP left. Mana potion, item class, E-type, consumable A potion that can restore mana. Restores 500 mana upon consumption. Mana 530/530. I don't want my stomach to be filled with potions, so bring it on. I activated another skill so I can use the opportunity of being able to defeat St. Peter. Skill Bloodlust LV.1 has been activated. The enemy's resistance was too high. The effect was cancelled. Cursing under my breath, I used my speed skill for 5 seconds, going around it trying to cut it with my dagger or even punch it with my gauntlet. Damn, I need to think of a way to defeat it. Suddenly, I was too late to dodge the downward swing of the spear. Unluckily for me, my left arm was cut off. I was glad I had some pain nullification, as that shit hurts. I tried to move, but I couldn't, as the swing also caused me to make a crater in the ground. I just realized that I could die. I started to grin for some reason. Fatigue 72 HP 890/3560 MP 435/530 HP 850/3560 HP 810/3560. As your health is below 30%, skill perseverance will activate. Damage taken will be reduced by 50%. I remembered I still have the status effect, but I can't waste it. So without moving, I summoned 4 fireballs and shot 3 around in one dead center, so St. Peter will need to use his skill, giving me more time. MP 35/530. Reward 1. Status recovery accept. That was just in the nick of time, as the St. Peter threw the spear straight at me where I was. Realizing I got my left arm back using sprint, I got behind him and threw my dagger at it. But St. Peter blocked it with his arm guards. I released the dagger from the mortal world into my system and got it to my own hands back again. This is a good matchup, looking at my skills. But my attacks aren't having effect. Heaven's gatekeeper St. Peter is using the skill Baptism. When an enemy is hit by the skill, you will perish, but after death you will become an angel under God's rule. Not a bad way to die, but I ain't dying here. With pure luck and speed, I have outrun the devastating attack and got into the guard of the saint. The system tells me the gap between my enemies and I, but I must overcome it. When inside the guard of the Guardian of Heaven, I slashed his chest, causing him to back up for a couple of steps. Then I realized something crucial. The saint is healing himself. Damn, I don't have any more status recovery. I must do something. I guess the system is making me stronger. With that, I did. I rushed forward again and got the spear in my hand. The said opponent was surprised, which I took to my advantage. Stabbing him through the chest to where the heart should be sounded easy. But when against his armor, I had to put everything in it so it could penetrate it. This and the activation of Bloodlust skill that actually caused the saint to stop allowed me to stab him through the head into the brain, killing it finally instead of the chest. You have slain Heaven's gatekeeper, St. Peter. You leveled up. You leveled up. You leveled up. You leveled up. Thanks to you, I realized what my level is. I still need to get stronger. So if I open the gate now, I will die. But hear me, I will come back and defeat all of heaven if I have to. Item: Lance of Longinus, item class. S-type, spear attack, plus 800, obtained by killing St. Peter the Heaven's Gatekeeper. This spear was stabbed in the side of Jesus to ensure his death. It has extra attack power towards creatures of demons or fallen. Effect: an extra plus 200 attack when dealing with the enemies of God. Item: St. Peter's Ring, item class. A-type, Ring Intelligence plus 20, Vitality plus 20. Item: Heaven Gate Key, item class. A-type, a key that can open the Heaven Gate's door, obtained by killing the Gatekeeper. Sweet, plus 20 for both Intelligence and Vitality. I sure need it. Izuku chuckled. Everything after this point is Izuku's stats. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Status: Name: Izuku Midoriya. Job: None. Title: Zombie Slayer. Level: 31. Fatigue: 0 HP, 4360 MP, 670 Strength, 82 Agility, 60 Sense, 57 Vitality, 77 Intelligence, 84 remaining points, 0 Physical Damage Reduction, 10% plus 5%, Physical Pain Nullification, 15%. Skills: Passive Unknown, Max, Muscularity, LV.1, Advanced Dagger Arts, LV.1, Active Sprint, LV.1, Bloodlust, LV.1, Fireball, LV.1. Armor Rockgut Gauntlet, C rank. Right Hand, Paralyzed / Contagious, St. Peter's Ring, A rank. Left Middle Finger, plus 20 int / plus 20 vit. Weapon T-Rex Dagger, C rank. Dagger, plus 20 attack / -25% damage reduced. Lance of Longinus, S rank. Spear, plus 800 attack / extra plus 200 against God's enemies. The next 4 weeks was the same routine: exercise daily, try and level up my skills, and study for UA. I had 2 D rank dungeons which leveled me up to level 36, and currently I am in a C rank gate. I think my luck is coming to me after the years of pain and misery with the mystery boxes. However, I have a feeling that this power is foreshadowing something. Although defeating skeleton warriors isn't as much fun as you would think, my title helps me have an easier time. Level 39 is what I am currently sitting at. With a spear thrust to one and a cut to another, boom, level 40. You level it up. I received a new notification following the leveling one, but before I go into that, I have gotten 2 more skills that I acquired recently. Skill: Vital Strike, LV.1, active. Dagger only skill. Uses 70 MP to deal critical damage as you attack your foe's vital area. The second one was the one I bought for 580,000 gold. A rune stone, to be precise. I decided that sometimes I do need to be stealthy if I want to be a hero or to get a drop on a monster. Skill: Stealth, LV.1, active. It requires 200 MP to activate and 10 MP per second to use it for a longer period of time. You become invisible to the naked eye with sound, smell, and presence erased. I actually gotten this skill so I could have a variety. It also did another purpose. I remembered the face of the shield man I killed. He was a sidekick to Yoroimusha. Even though that man is old, I still respect him. With this in mind, I searched the web and done some snooping to find all of the mud behind the shield sidekick. Let me tell you, there was a lot. I was happy that I killed him. After getting acquainted with this skill, I had a maximum of 47 seconds to get in and out of the office. It was hard. I even had to drink 1 MP potion for 500 MP as I was low on it. At the end, it was a success with giving the file to the number 9 hero's desk. I remember seeing a rumor on the internet saying something of a man who could take and give quirks, which I found very interesting. It seems with the system I can have a similar ability, but with me I can get them through rune stones. Hopefully I can get a healing one so I can be an all-rounder. But that is the thought for the future, as now I have a different task in front of me. Also, I have leveled up Advanced Dagger Art LV.1 to LV.2, with it gaining an extra 7% of additional damage, giving me 40% when using daggers. Additionally, my skill Sprint has 2 leveled up. Sadly, I have not received any skills for the spear that I am in possession of, as I did just get it, and it is used as a tertiary weapon just after the gauntlet. Moving on to the message that I have received. The player has reached the required level. Wait, required level? Like with the shop option to buy. The shop was open at level 25, It has a lot of sections as potions, weapons, armor, miscellaneous, and runestones. A job change quest has arrived. Will you accept the quest? Accept/refuse. Job? None. I will do it after I finish this dungeon. With that, I put the screen somewhere where it won't distract me and continued towards the boss room. I had to defeat a lot more enemies as it seemed that they never finished with me finally entering a massive room. The boss room, I presumed. A skeleton figure was in the center with a light orange name. It only took me 2 minutes to defeat it, but after the job change I leveled up 2 levels, so I think that is a beneficial thing. Status: name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, none. Title, Zombie Slayer. Level, 42 fatigue, 13 HP, 60 80 MP, 900 strength, 108 agility, 93 sense, 82 vitality, 108 intelligence, 108 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 10% plus 5%, physical pain nullification, 15%. Skills: passive unknown, max muscularity, LV.1, advanced dagger arts, LV.2, active sprint, LV.2, bloodlust, LV.1, fireball, LV.1, vital strike, LV.1, stealth, LV.1. I was ready for it. I was also glad that I took my time not to rush things. So the next day I went out around 3 p.m. I had a feeling someone was following me, but there were no signs of bloodlust. I kind of forgot to do the daily quest today, so I am hoping I can get this done quickly. Going to a park where not a lot of people attend, I said, accept job change quest. Then a purple portal appeared and I jumped in. But before the portal closed, someone jumped in. I was flabbergasted at who it was. Miruko. Miruko. Sometime earlier, Miruko's POV. After the kid threw a pipe at the villain, my interest in him began. I started to patrol the area where he was, and this day, I finally found him. He seems to already sense someone following him. It could be me, but I think it was the blonde girl that had a look that I couldn't place following him too. So when I saw him go to a park and mutter some words, a purple portal shot open. He jumped in, so I too had to. I saw the blonde girl doing the same with her explosions, but it seemed that she didn't make it. The next thing I heard was a shout of my hero name by a surprised green-haired kid that was nearly a foot taller than me. NPOV. Izuka looked down at Miruko. Miruko, what are you doing here? You interested me with the pipe you threw, and now you are jumping through a portal, so what gives? The rabbit woman berated Izuku, even though she didn't add, also you smell actually nice compared to others. So basically you stalked me and jumped in a random portal that could go anywhere? Izuku asked in all seriousness, but he gave a deadpan expression. A small embarrassed blush appeared on her face. Then Miruko's fist embedded in Izuku's shoulder. Shut up. After a couple of seconds, the gamer sighed, fine, before you ask. I can create portals where I go and improve my skills. Monsters appear and I need to kill them and then the boss to get out of a dungeon. Her widened eyes and mouth turning into a devilish smile. Heck yeah. I can finally get loose. Oh, and what's your name? Now you ask. Geez, I'm Izuku Midoriya by the way, but just call me Izuku. He introduced himself with a mock bow. You have entered a dungeon. Before you ask any more questions, let me explain further. In dungeons, anything can happen, different monsters, traps, and whatever. The monsters have to be killed, and occasionally they drop loot like in a video game. And so, even before Rumi could react, Izuku summoned his spear and threw it through a knight. Keep your senses open. We need to kill them. You have slain a knight. Rumi came up to Izuku and poked the spear as it was summoned back to Izuku. What is this? Before Miruko asked any questions. This is the Lance of Longinus. I got it by defeating St. Peter. It was a different dungeon I entered a while ago, Izuku said straight-faced. You defeated a fucking angel? She said in disbelief. I did, he said with a sigh. Anyways, let's get this over and done with. Receiving a nod from the rabbit girl. It is a doll-type monster. It will be annoying if more of these guys show up in the future. Oh, and by the way, he turned to her. We can't exit until we clear this, as I don't have a hearthstone. Receiving a nod with a little hesitation, she was trying to understand the teen's quirk, but came up empty. Izuku received this message too. In this area, your potion and show ability is restricted. On level up, you do not receive status healing. Shit, Izuku muttered. Obtaining a confused look, he answered the unasked question. I can't use any healing abilities of mine for some reason in this dungeon. So we can die here? Chuckling. We will not die here. I don't want to explain why the bunny hero is dead. Rumi tried to hit Izuku's head but missed. I am a rabbit, not a bunny, you idiot. As it seems to be fate, Izuku tackled the bunny away. There was a magician that shot a fireball at her. Oi bunny, get your head in the game. I know this is weird, but please look out. Rumi blushed slightly, as she was the one who people depended on and not being one to depend on someone. She didn't know this feeling, but she won't complain, as she liked the warmth. Then they both got up to start their fight. Punching and kicking, with an occasional spear swing, was all that was heard for the next 30 minutes. Rumi, for her part, was enjoying every minute of it. She usually had short and quick fights with an occasional one that gets her blood pumping as much. She needs to ask Izuku to take her to other gates as she wants to feel the adrenaline pumping in her veins more often. Izuku realized that the soldiers were using his skills, from fireball to ones with spears, others were knights. Heck, some of them were assassins with the stealth part. The amount of times he saved the bunny from the assassins was not funny, as she couldn't smell or hear them. He also realized another fact: if he had dropped points from strength, he couldn't break the knight's armor, as a dagger was mostly useless with them. If his sense was low, then he wouldn't detect the assassins. Due to the still low mana, then using skills would be useless, as he couldn't replenish it to fight against the magicians. Then the spearman, who he thought was about agility so he could miss the spear thrusts and throws. You have slain a knight x16. You have slain a magician x3. You have slain an assassin x8. You have slain a spearman x5. You leveled up. He also received a couple of extra loot. He tried to give them to Rumi, but some didn't work with her. The armor, for example, was visible on her, and it wasn't in her style, as apparently it would look ridiculous on her. Item: leather pouch type. Container A pouch to carry money. Item: high knight's chest plate. Item class: B type. Armor plus 7% physical damage reduction. Slows movement if your strength is below 80. Item: lukewarm water. Type: consumable 1 L of water at room's temperature. Izuku shared the water with Maruko, and both of them started to cool off. The bunny girl was glad to get a breakout of the constant fighting and being saved by the admittedly handsome teen next to her from the assassins. Fatigue: 54 HP, 5490/6200 MP, 900/915. I can see the door to the boss room, Izuku stated, seeing the 5M tall gates. How are you doing? Smirking, she replied. Tired, but this is fun. Nodding. If it will be too hard for you, let me handle it. What he got from her was a hesitant nod. She couldn't argue. From what he has shown so far, he is pretty strong with a lot of stamina to boot. Especially with the assassins, she promised herself to get stronger too. Those opponents were around B-rank villains, and even though she may be considered an S-rank hero, it was because of her leg power and her fighting style. After another 10 minutes, with Izuku's fatigue going down to 33, but suddenly another assassin was about to sneak up onto the top 10 hero, which Izuku killed. Then he blocked an arrow with his dagger. Fuck archers. Another 5 grueling minutes to be able to get in the door. You have slain an archer x7. You have slain a soldier x2. You leveled up, finally being able to open the door. Both could see it was an open room with a lot of space. There was one thing that made a shiver go down both of their backs. A dark red name for Izuku especially. Blood Red Commander Igris. Item: High Knight's Gauntlet. Item class: B type. Armor plus 5% physical damage reduction. Slows movement if your strength is below 80. Item: High Magician's Ring. Item class: B type. Ring increases mana regeneration by 10 mana per minute. He placed the other gauntlet on his left hand and the ring on his right middle finger. For some reason, the rings and the gauntlet don't interfere with each other. He was ready to defeat the boss and get a job change. Blood Red Commander Igris. Both hunters could hear themselves gulp. For Maruko, her animal instincts were telling her to run, but for Izuku, it was the memories of him nearly giving up on strong opponents. Bunny. I don't know if you can feel the aura, but he is strong. Ignoring the nickname of his, she whispered to him, I agree. A knight that protects the empty throne. Was what Izuku thought as the humans looked into the shining whites of the commander's face. The metal monstrosity slowly walked down the stairs, as both hero and teen prepared to fight it. Running towards the gamer, the knight used his sword to nearly decapitate Izuku and Maruko. The greenette took out his dagger and tried to stab him, but to no avail, as its armor was better than the dagger's skills. The hero tried to use its distracted state, but the knight turned around and caught her by the leg and threw her to the wall, causing a massive indent in it. Maruko, the taller of the two, shouted. Chuckling slowly, she whispered just enough to make Izuku hear. "This is nothing, my blood is pumping. I am feeling the touch of death," touching her forehead. "It was a long time since I seen my own blood." With a maniacal grin, she said confidently, "After we defeat this red guy, I am taking you out to dinner for the entertainment." This caused a small blush to appear on Izuku's face. Then a couple of seconds of Igris looking at her with a semi-deadpan expression. Rumi realized what she said and blushed, denying it in her head. Using this opportunity, Izuku said whilst attacking and dodging the sword, "Sure, we will talk about this after this gate." There was a downward swing from Igris that Izuku barely blocked with his dagger and his gauntlet supporting him. Jumping back, Izuku and Maruko regrouped and both would try to attack him simultaneously. Some damage was obviously done, but nothing too major. Izuku had a thought. "I think we are using the same armor, so he has to have strength over 80 to be able to do that. I guess it's with my fists and your legs, he Maruko, or should I say Rumi? I preferred the bunny nickname, but I don't mind if we are not on duty." "Yes, yes." But what surprised the both next was Igris stabbing his sword to the ground and releasing his cape with some of his extra daggers which were located on his back. "Chivalry, not many actually have that, so I must say I respect you. But you are still not taking us seriously," Izuku said, though internally he was glad he wasn't taking them both seriously. With that, the commander rushed at both of them, with them both jumping out of the way of his trajectory. Maruko went to the back of him whilst Izuku the front of him. Both tried using punches and kicks, but nothing worked due to Igris dodging or blocking. Finally, he grabbed Izuku's leg and threw him onto the empty throne, causing a moan of pain from Izuku to come out. Rumi was distracted for a split second, causing a similar fate to occur to her. Izuku caught her in a princess carry and whispered to her, "I have a plan. You try and regain some energy." This was a moment where a notification came. "Alarm! As your health has dropped below 30%, skill, perseverance, will be active. Damage taken will be reduced by 50%. My defense increased due to my passive skill. I still have a chance." Plopping the bunny girl on the throne, Izuku summoned his spear and without a moment of hesitation threw it. It missed the main body but not the left forearm, causing it to be ripped out of the body. This is where white liquid came out which seemed like blood. Dematerializing the spear, he summoned his dagger and using a newer skill. Igris tried getting his weapon by skill Dominator's Touch, but was too late. Skill Vital Strike LV.1, active. Dagger only skill. Uses 70 MP to deal critical damage as you attack your foe's vital area. Using the skill on Igris, he finally jumped onto Igris and stabbed under his helm. Then with a final punch, he got the blood-red Commander Igris to the other side. "Alarm! You have slain blood-red Commander Igris. You leveled up." "You leveled up," walking up to Maruko first and both of them walking to the Igris fallen body. "Did we win?" Izuku asked in between his panting. "I think the red guy underestimated us further, allowing you to surprise him with your spear." "I guess I did. I guess my luck helped me here. If I made a mistake, I would have died." "Oh, shut it, Izuku, you promised me dinner together so you can't die easily." But inside this definitely was a high A rank that S ranks would have trouble in. All Might and Endeavor could do it, but the later with some help. Ryukyu if she turned to her dragon mode, but his sword would have decapitated something. "I need to get stronger." Oh, look, it dropped a couple of items. Red Knight's helmet, Dominator's Touch X2, Leather Pouch, Hearthstone X2 have been obtained. Wait, 2 Dominator's Touches. That is awesome, Izuku said in excitement. "What are those 4 stones?" Maruko asked in curiosity. "Those 2 red stones are something called rune stones. You can learn new skills, or some people may call them quirks. Those 2 have the same ability called Dominator's Touch. This allows us to learn a form of telekinesis." "Wait us!" Maruko was generally surprised. She expected him to keep them both for himself. "Yeah, you helped me clear this dungeon. So there you are." He handed a rune stone to her and the return crystal. "By the way, please don't tell anyone about the rune stones, as the amount of greedy people would want those will be astronomical, and use it during dire needs whilst patrolling." Izuku received an understanding nod from her. "The other one can be only used in this dungeon to leave." "Wait, why did they give it to us?" Both of them realized one thing. It is not over yet. Seeing as they both have some time, Izuku checked the other 2 items. Item: Red Knight's Helmet. Item class: S-Type. Armor plus 15% physical damage reduction plus 20 strength, plus 20 vitality. Item: Leather pouch has been opened. You have received 1,500,000 gold. Total gold: 3,082,982 G. To think my gold doubled in an instant. Izuku thought, but furthermore an S-rank item. This is my second S-rank item. Putting it on. Wow, these stats are on another level, it is incredible. Rune Stone. Dominator's Touch type. Rune Stone A skill can be obtained by breaking the rune. Item: Hearthstone type. Consumable A quest exclusive item. If you break the Hearthstone, you will instantly leave the dungeon. If the job quest ends, the dungeon is automatically destroyed. Cannot be stored. Name: Izuku Midoriya. Job: None. Title: Zombie Slayer. Level: 46 Fatigue, 72 HP, 1705/6960 MP, 780/960 Strength, 132 Agility, 97 Sense, 86 Vitality, 132 Intelligence, 112 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 11%, plus 32%, physical pain nullification, 16%. Get ready, Bunny. This dungeon isn't finished yet. Izuku warned her. Don't worry, I have got it. Also, can you keep the rune stone with you until we get out the dungeon, as I don't have any pockets? Rumi asked sheepishly. With a nod, Izuku hid it in his inventory. There was a sound of SHWSH that showed it was a greenish/red portal. Then more portals began to appear. The job change quest will begin. Shit. Then this is my job change quest. Then he cursed himself as Rumi looked at him with her curious eyes. I will explain everything during our dinner. She blushed a little with the reminder but nodded. The longer you last, the more points you can collect that will place you into a higher tier job. Midnight points. The longer I last. Good luck. 1 second, 2 seconds, then nights started to pour out of the gates. Every second means more points. Izuku said then, so the chance of obtaining a hidden class goes up the longer the timer goes on? Befitting for a job change quest, Izuku muttered. 14 seconds. My remaining mana is 780. Rumi, hold on to me. With that, the two started to go invisible from Izuku's stealth skill. He then whispered to Rumi, we need to hide and make a plan, so I am using a skill of invisibility. With a nod, they both got invisible. Izuku got Rumi on his back and carried her thighs, which to his opinion were really thick and squishy. I can do it for a couple of minutes. He couldn't see Miruko's dark red face, her thighs, and arms were around Izuku, and was lucky that she was invisible. Magician is using skill. Detection. A massive black eye appeared above the magicians. When it opened, a purple iris looked straight at them, causing the confused soldiers to go up to them with their weapons. Shit, it detected us. Still having Rumi on his back, he summoned his spear and started to cut them down with an occasional punch. Skill. Bloodlust was activated. The target stats will decrease by 50% for 1 minute. Miruko was just shocked, in all honesty. The repertoire of the young man's before her was impressive. Rumi, use your Hearthstone. But before any of them could, both of their Hearthstones were knocked out of their hands. Shit. Then a beatdown was starting to happen, with Izuku protecting Rumi with the best of his abilities. He did realize that those knights didn't give him any levels and were around C rank at best with an occasional B rank, but they were annoying in large amounts. HP. 980/6960. Rumi wasn't scared per se, but seeing how Izuku was taking the brunt of the assault, protecting her, some memories were trying to come to the surface. 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Shit. With that, he was punched in the side, causing the two living entities to slide backwards and started to be surrounded by knights. Izuku stood back up, but this time with Rumi behind him. I am sorry, Rumi, but we need to try and defeat them together. We got it, Izuku. It can't end like this, Rumi said with determination, jumping up with his spear. I was at the bottom for so long. I longed for the highest place. I know the sadness of being weak more than anyone. Memories of children beating him up, parents giving him a pitying look. Izuku then remembered his mother. An overprotective mother, sure, but she loved him the most. He was getting visions of his mother and father telling him to get some rest. Then something came out of the shadow. Why do you always moor away from the safe road and dance with death on every occasion? He knew this voice, it was him before being awakened. Isn't it a great fortune that a quirkless person like you was able to grow this much? Isn't it great? Izuku Midoriya? Rumi for her part wasn't doing much better, yes. She wasn't getting as much as Izuku but still tried helping. She too had some visions of people in her childhood ridiculing her for her quirk being a mutant type. When time passed on, she could see people calling her out for her figure or how she looks, ignoring how well she can do her work. A younger self came up to her. Wow, I look beautiful, don't I? This caused her to stiffen and look back to see a young girl walking to her. You accidentally followed a young man who caught your interest into a death zone. He is still protecting you whilst you are still on your sorry ass. This wasn't happening, was it? That was all going in her mind. I can't believe that we're the same person. You are taller, gained a lot of muscle, and look sharper. You look quite strong as well. But the only thing that changed was your appearance. You're still a weakling. What is the difference between you and me? You got yourself in a situation where you're in front of death once more. The two voices said to their future selves. Izuku saw at the corner of his eye that Rumi was about to be killed. He moved. The movement was painful, but he was there and pushed Hiro away and blocked the incoming strike with his dagger. Until I am still alive, I will protect you, Rumi, so do not give up. I bet you are hearing the voices too, so don't listen to them. You are a strong woman, mentally and physically, so let's show them who is boss. Rumi was knocked out of her funk when Izuku pushed her out of the way. After she heard what he spoken to her, it caused a soft, small but true smile to appear on her face. I met him properly just today, and he has done more than anyone in my life did. Thank you, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku was having a hard time. The voice came around. Oh look, once again you don't know how to control yourself. Your courage becomes recklessness. Hissing out, shut up. After another minute, Izuku and Rumi were standing back to back. Tired? Yeah, I am. You have a long way to go. From now on you have to kill more people and sacrifice or leave behind a lot of people, including friends and family. You will be the one to bring about your own demise. The voice spoke once again. Both Hiro and Hunter were tired. They barely could move. Quest directions. Daily quest. Getting ready to become powerful goal. Incomplete. Push-ups 0 out of 100. Incomplete. Curl-ups 0 out of 100. Incomplete. Sit-ups 0/100. Incomplete. Squats 0 out of 100. Incomplete. Run 0/10 km. Warning. Failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. Reading the message, he held his hand to get Rumi's hand in it. Blushing but also aware how close to death they were, so she didn't mind it. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. They say luck is also a skill. It looks like leaving you to die here is too much of a waste of it. Holding Maruko's hand tighter, the last thing the older Izuku thought was see you. 1 second left. 0 seconds left. A slash came closer and closer from multiple sides. Then another notification came in. Alarm! You failed to complete the daily quest. You are being moved to the penalty zone. The axe that was about to come through the duo hit nothing but air, confusing the knights. 9 minutes and 39 seconds. Penalty zone. Both are seen on the floor panting. That was something Rumi muttered, holding her thigh. Yeah, it was. It seems that we are in the penalty zone due to me forgetting to do my daily exercise. You have to do that. But I must say good timing, otherwise we would be dead. No kidding. Fatigue. 92 HP. 84/6960 MP. 230/960. Buying the best fatigue potions he could for 10,000 gold, he gave one to Maruko and one to himself. Drink this, it should help you. She drank it and all she could say was, damn, I could fight again? What did it do? It helps with your fatigue and also should slowly give your health back to its original point. Your fatigue is being restored. 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 I should properly heal my HP and MP by leveling up here, and I might die in one hit. Izuku also bought a medic first aid kit and started to bandage Rumi's thigh with some minor protest of her. It will be better, bunny. But anyways, we need to deal with the insects here. But internally, I have never felt better. I think I get what Rumi means, battle rush. Then the sand monsters came up, with Izuku killing them by jumping on them or slashing at them with his spear. Alarm! Penalty quest, survive goal. Survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours remaining time. 3 hours 58 minutes and 28 seconds. If the pain doesn't kill me, it will only make me stronger, Izuku thought, whilst Rumi looked at him with awe whilst she was still resting. With Katsumi, the 6 months changed Katsumi a lot. She knew that Izuku was in a coma for 6 months, but the doctors didn't call her mom after he woke up, only that he had been discharged. He wasn't in school, and anyway school would be finished soon. The final exams were done before Izuku was in a coma, so he was lucky with that, although he would have to come back for the certificate, she mused. She saw him throw a pipe at a villain and was shocked with his appearance. Like, shouldn't the scrawny teen be more scrawny after a coma? But no, Izuku was developing to be more of a Greek god, which she begrudgingly accepted when she saw him earlier today. He entered some kind gate, and having Maruko, the rabbit hero, follow him too. She wanted to follow but was too slow. She discovered that the rumor of Izuku awakening a quirk was true. Of course, they were not told the name, but on the school registry Izuku awakened a quirk when he woke up, and now she saw it in action. She didn't know how to feel with that. Be pissed as he will go and try be a hero or not a stay-at-home husband. She doesn't know. After an hour of waiting, she went to see his apartment, which he still lived in. She got the extra key out that she took from her mother and waited on the couch for a couple more hours. Then when it came for, she then had a thought. Maybe he gotten a girl fry. Yeah, he can't, he is mine. With that thought, she went to sleep on the couch. Penalty zone sometime later. Penalty quest. Survive goal. Survive until the time runs out. Time required. 4 hours remaining time. 0 hours 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Vital strike skill leveled up from LV.1 to LV.2. You leveled up. 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 You have reached level 50. You received a reward. Accept/reject. How a reward? Let accept it. Level 50 reward. Reward 1. Whenever you level up from level 50 and up, you gain 100 more HP per level, plus 200 HP per level. Reward 2. Whenever you level up from level 50 and up, you gain 10 more MP per level, plus 20 MP per level. Reward 3. You received an additional 5,000 HP. Reward 4. You received an additional 500 MP. Well done. W/N. I am trying to make his stats similar to Jinwoo, but my own style, if you get me. Anyways, I always have a method of calculating HP and MP gain, so I am increasing the level up part. Name: Izuku Midoriya, level 51, fatigue 0 HP, 12440 MP, 1555. Penalty quest. Survive goal. Survive until the time runs out. Time required. 4 hours remaining time. 0 hours 3 minutes and 41 seconds. We have just over 3 minutes before we return, Izuku stated to Rumi. You need a stronger weapon. She gave a hesitant nod, with him deciding that explaining part of his quirk now was more beneficial. As I will explain my quirk later on, I will tell you part of it now. It is a gaming quirk, so to speak. Now I am using the gold I have collected from selling junk items or unneeded drops. Store. After a couple of seconds, he continued, what weapon do you want to use? This caused Rumi to think. A dagger would probably be my style. Smirking, I think I have the perfect one. Night Killer, 2,800,000 G. Buy. Found it. You have purchased Night Killer. This will help you especially with the knights here. It is called a Night Killer and is the best weapon I can get for you at this moment of time. He handed it to Maruko, who was shocked. Are you sure? With a light smile, he nodded. Thank you. What Maruko done next caused them to lightly blush. A small but affectionate hug. Item: Night Killer. Item class: B-type, dagger plus 75 attack effect, Night Slayer. If used against an opponent with heavy armor, your attacks deal 25% additional damage. Izuku bought some more bandages. Let me wrap it around your hand so it won't drop like we did with our hearthstones. This caused them both to chuckle. You have purchased bandage. After Izuku helped Rumi bandage the dagger, he pulled out 2 rune stone. Let's break them. We may increase our chances. Wait, so you break them and you get the skill? With a nod, he passed her one of them, and with that Izuku broke his. He used it to pull a leg of the massive insect towards him. Breaking her own stone, she felt some sort of new energy in her, causing her eyes to widen. She did the same as Izuku and got stars in her eyes. Once again, she hugged Izuku, who was a little surprised and caused her to be span around whilst both of them were laughing. Skill: Dominator's touch has been learned. Skill: Dominator's Touch LV.1 active. No mana required. You can control objects without touching them. It is like a quirk, a skill that doesn't require me to use mana, so this is useful, Izuku stated whilst letting go of Rumi. This is the same thing as the Igris guy used. Penalty quest, survive goal. Survive until the time runs out. Time required, 4 hours remaining time. 0 hours 0 minutes and 4 seconds. Remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 3 seconds. Hold my hand. We are going back. Our last chance with Rumi holding his hand more naturally. Remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 2 seconds. Remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 1 second. Remaining time, 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Penalty quest is concluding, so their numbers grew immensely within a few hours? Izuku asked jokingly. Let's kick their metal ass, Rumi continued. With Izuku using the spear and Rumi her dagger, it went so much easier. Being rested makes a large difference. Jumping on a soldier's head, Izuku shouted. We need to kill those mages. They are the ones who are controlling these puppets. They are using summoning magic. Sure, Zuku. With a nearly fatal slash that could happen if Izuku didn't regain his composure. So this is how you want to play it? Good bun. I will kick your ass when we get out of here. Sure, but after dinner, please. With them both having game faces, they traveled towards the magicians. With Izuku and Rumi went opposite ways and slashed the magicians. You have slain a magician. Good. Too done for more. Both saw that a chunk of the army was gone, turned into the armor. With that, Izuku threw his spear at another one which hit its target. You have slain a magician. Alert! New skill has been created. Skill. Spear throw. Active. Deal damage by throwing your spear. As the skill's level increases, damage and accuracy will increase 70 mana. Alert! A new skill has been created. Skill. Spear Mastery Art passive. Due to the user preference to use spears, you can use spears more proficiently. When a spear is used, the attacks gain 30% additional damage. New skills are always welcome, but finally some spear skills. Izuku mused to himself. Skill. Stealth LV1. Active. 200 mana. Magician is using skill. Detection. Magician is using skill. Detection. Magician is using skill. Detection. You can see the eye. Kill them bun. With that, Rumi killed another one with her Dominator's Touch. 2 more left. He then shot a fireball towards a group of knights, allowing her access to a magician. Rumi saw the strategy that Izuku will use, but when he jumped down from his hiding position with a spear in one hand and a dagger in his left, she now saw the muscles on Izuku, the way his muscles moved. Izuku was wearing a light gray shirt with a hood and black tracksuit bottoms, and she must add he made the perfect style in it. The muscles from tightening his grip were showing, and it was so defined but not ugly as All Might or Endeavor style. Then she looked at his usually green eyes that are burning blue right now, with some of his green color's tips were waving around. He looked majestic. Even her animal instinct told her to bed him, but she knew that they were not in that stage of the relationship yet. Yet again, her brain betrays her. Izuku was using the Dominator Touch to deal some damage to the knights whilst advancing towards the magicians. Suddenly, Maruko heard a cry of pain. Izuku was stabbed in his thigh just like her. How long are you going to hide behind your puppets? He killed the knight, but suddenly the remaining 2 magicians started to chant and created a massive golem made of armor of the fallen knights exactly where Izuku was standing above. Izuku jumped down and started to run, trying to distract the golem, whilst Maruko will kill the 2 remaining magicians. Rumi had it easier as the number of soilders decreased for the destructiveness of the golem. With her using Dominator's Touch on one and a Luna Fall kick on another, the golem fell. 4 hours, 39 minutes, and 42 seconds. All the monsters in the room have been slain. The quest will end now. Damn, what a kick there, bun. Izuku whistled in appreciation. Panting a bit. Done. They walked to each other and fist bumped. Now, what will be your job, I wonder? Possibly an assassin or even a magician. Izuku wondered too. You will be able to choose a class based on the amount of points you have collected. Apparently, I can choose a job? Izuku said out loud. A job will be granted after the player's actions have been analyzed. Oh, granted? I thought I could choose. A shocked Izuku said. I did put a lot of stats in strength, so a warrior, but also a lot in my vitality, so possibly a tank? A magician due to my mana points? Either way, I'll become strong. Wherever the player goes, the Reaper follows. The player's path is littered with corpses and the smell of blood. As the player possesses strength, he does not leave anything to his teammates and overcomes everything with his own strength. Izuku's eyes widened at that. Didn't Rumi count too? Your desire for strength burns strong enough to call those who wander the valley of death. And the army of the dead who follows your commands shall create a path where your thread will be the law, and you would never need another's help again. Army of the dead, Izuku said out loud. I did prefer Rumi not being here for her safety, but she did help a lot though. Then a realization came to both. Wait, this is my job? Your job is necromancer. A necromancer? Asked Rumi, and she received a wide-eye nod from her partner. Magic subclass necromancer. A grim magician and the undead army that follows. I have never heard of someone who has a necromancer quirk, but usually they have a sentience quirk or a summon quirk for 1 or 2 warriors. Izuku said out loud. Why not choose it? It will be different from other heroes' quirks, and it will be helpful for you, as I won't lie, even an S-rank hero like myself, this dungeon would be nigh impossible. If I didn't have you or at least another 4 S-class heroes, then I would have died. So imagine having a lot of strong dead soldiers that can help you. With a small smile, I met you a couple of hours ago and you seem to already have a place in my heart. Geez, though I will choose this job then. Let's be a necromancer. I accept. It seems that this dungeon showed me a peek into the skill too. Izuku didn't see steam coming from Rumi's head at the casual remark on her. Your job has been chosen. Based on the amount of points you obtained, you will be given a chance to promote to a superior class. You have exceeded the expected play time. Points will be added. You did not use a hearthstone. Points will be added. Shadows started to form around Izuku, causing Rumi to widen her eyes. Final health is above 75%. Points will be added. All enemies have been slain. Points will be added. Your accidental partner did not die. Points will be added. The total points have exceeded the limit. You will be promoted from Necromancer to Shadow Monarch. You have learned a job-exclusive skill. You have obtained bonus stats. You have obtained the title The One Who Overcame Adversary, a title give to those who overcame adversary heroically. Your stats increase proportionally to your missing health. 1% stat increase every 1% HP missing. Wow! I have been promoted to a Shadow Monarch, Izuku said to the wide-eye Rumi. I can hear some sort of scream. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. So this is the necromancy ability. A necromancer is a commander-type job. Please select your command phrase for shadow extraction. A command phrase. Arise, the last word sent shivers down the rabbit harrow's back as she saw from the dead corpse's shadows come out. Black shadows with a blue light coming from its eyes, with fog coming from them. Ha! This is pretty cool. Rumi still had her eyes widened. Skill. Shadow Extraction LV.1 Job-specific skill. No mana required. A shadow soldier is created from a body without life by taking out its mana. The chance of failure increases the higher the target stats are, and the more time passed since the target's death. Shadows able to be extracted. 50/50ths. Skill. Save Shadow LV.1 Job-specific skill. No mana required. You absorb created shadow soldiers and save them. Saved soldiers can be summoned and reabsorbed whenever and wherever the animator desires. Save shadows? 0/40. Does it mean I can turn all the dead guys into summonable beings? Then Izuku looked at Igris. Shadow extraction can be used on this target. 44 infantry rank normal and 6 magicians rank elite. I can only save 40 of you, Izuku said somberly. If you want to use shadow extraction again, you must send 1 or more shadow soldiers to the world of nothingness through extraction cancel. I am sorry. Even though I have called upon you guys, Izuku gently punched with the side of his fist onto one of the infantry unit's chest. Cancel extraction on 11 infantry units. You cannot recall shadow soldiers that have been sent to nothingness. With a sad face but determined one too, he walked up to Igris. Blood-red Commander Igris, if I have this guy as my soldier, arise. Some shadows started to leak out. A massive explosion of shadows happened, nearly knocking Izuku on his butt. You failed to extract the shadow. What? You still have 2 chances remaining. This guy has been dead for over 4 hours, and even so has nearly killed me, so his skills are high enough. Taking a sigh and reaching his hand out. Igris, I know you can hear me. Stop protecting the seat of someone who has already left and try protecting me, who is in front of you. Arise. A shadow started to come out, with a hand coming out slowly which Izuku grabbed, pulling Igris out. Blood red Igris. Nope, that's too edgy. I will call you Igris. You have upgraded the shadow. Shadow level will be 7. Shadows higher than rank knight can be named. You are now named Igris, the shadow who is taller than Izuku, with blue shadows coming from his eyes and some red tint coming out of his flowing red hair. Igris LV.7 rank. Knight. Then the now named Igris bowed down with the rest of the infantry and the mages. Izuku and Rumi started to wonder what is going on. Izuku asked, "Can you speak Igris?" With a shake of his head, the Shadow Monarch understood. "Hopefully when you will level up you can talk." Then Igris pointed to the throne. Blinking, Izuku asked, "Do you want me to go to the throne?" With a nod, Izuku went to the throne, and looking at Igris where he gave a nod, Izuku sat. The way Izuku sat screamed monarchy, the top of the top. Even Rumi was having a hard time of not bowing down. But the sight of Izuku sitting on the throne and his army of 40 was a sight to see, could make anyone bow down. Izuku then spoke, "Please take care of me. You have completed a secret quest. Throne of the Monarch. The seat of the previous master of Igris was here. You are the commander of your forces, and your forces are the ones protecting you. You have received quest rewards. Accept/refuse. Accept." "Why not?" he said whilst crossing one leg over the other and having a light smirk on his face. "You have received the rewards for the secret quest. Reward 1. All of your current army leveled up by 1 level. Reward 2. You received 5 additional points. Reward 3. Your MP increased by 100. Wow, that is pretty good. Collect all rewards," Izuku mused to himself. Standing up, he commanded all shadows to go into his shadow and walked up to Rumi. "I think we did our job in this gate." "Yeah. Now you have your job." Using her pointer finger onto Izuku's chest. "Now how to get out of here, mister?" Chuckling, "We should exit in a couple of seconds, my lady." Now they both were laughing. As Izuku said, the gate disappeared a couple of seconds later. "Anyways, here is my number." He wrote it down on a piece of paper, then handing it to her. "Text me when our dinner will be, and if you want to go to another gate." She checked her phone. Her eyes widened. "It is past 5 a.m. now. I have to patrol in 2 hours. I will text you though. Have fun patrolling." Rumi surprised herself and Izuku when she hugged him and then kicked off with her red face. Women are weird. Though he wondered where he could hear face slapping from. Status name: Izuku Midoriya. Job: Shadow Monarch. Title: Zombie Slayer. +1. Level: 51. Fatigue: 0 HP. 12440 MP. 1655 Strength. 137 Agility. 102 Sense. 91 Vitality. 137 Intelligence. 117 remaining points. 15 Physical Damage Reduction. 11%. Plus 32%. Physical Pain Nullification. 16%. Skills: Passive Unknown. Max Muscularity. LV.1. Advanced Dagger Arts. LV.2. Advanced Spear Arts. LV.1. Active Sprint. LV.2. Bloodlust. LV.1. Fireball. LV.1. Vital Strike. LV.2. Stealth. LV.1. Dominator's Touch. LV.1. Spear Throw. LV.1. Job-Specific Shadow Extraction. LV.1. 40/50 Save Shadow. LV.1. 40/40ths. Shadow Army 33 Knights. LV.2. Normal 6 Magicians. LV.2. Elite Igris. LV.8. Knight. I got a couple of messages when I arrived home from 3 different people. One from an unknown, which was later turned into Bun Bun. Another from my childhood friend Kaken, and lastly from Dad. But firstly, I had to deal with the one person who is at my house currently. Katsumi Bakugo, aka Kaken. When I walked into my house, my sense told me someone was there. So when someone who was Katsumi was there, I was slightly surprised. I was too tired to care, although I rose my brow hearing what she spoke during her sleep. So I just messaged her I came in and sleeping currently. So I woke up 5 hours later to someone poking me. Apparently my shadow army decided it was safe and didn't interfere, so I was kinda glad. The one poking me was Katsumi Bakugo. "So why are you poking me?" With a little surprise she spoke. "You were not waking up. Where were you last night?" "I was with a friend out most of the night." Why do you want to know? I asked her with a flat tone. TCH, like I need to know. I sighed at that and decided to get changed. Like usual. I was only sleeping in my underwear, so apparently Katsumi saw and with a red face shouted, "When the fuck did you get so good looking?" Then she shut her mouth and corrected, "Ahem. When did you get the muscles?" Quirking my eyebrow, I looked down at her due to once again a massive height difference. Once again, why are you asking? Didn't you tell me to jump off a roof? I had to egg her on, trying to solve the mystery of one Katsumi Bakugo. Guilt was written all over her face, with some tears trying to get out. I am sorry. I just didn't want you to get hurt being a hero, so I tried to discourage it from you. I was stupid, I am sorry. I know I don't deserve your forgiving dash. She was shut by myself hugging her. You talk top much. But I did figure it out. This was a shocker to her, ignoring how her face was on his chest and she could feel and see the dense muscles in front of her. She could only croak out, "How?" Chuckling, I replied, "In your sleep, you were muttering of how you are sorry and wanting me to be your husband. Although I did have a sweat drop towards the end." What? I did not say that. She protested. That was a fruitless effort, though, seeing her atomic red face. I may not forgive you right now, but we can start over by becoming friends again? What do you say, Katsumi? She was stunned, then spoke once again. Please call me Kaken again? Sure, but please don't call me Deku. I don't think I am a Deku anymore, and I want to leave that in the past. She nodded. I am sorry for that. I couldn't spell properly when I was younger, and I thought Deku was a cool nickname. But I am still calling you nerd. Patting her on the head. Don't worry. Now we have to eat breakfast, then I am going to exercise. And to be honest, I think nerd fits better than Deku, don't you think? Nodding her head. Say, can I join? She asked while still being in the hug given to her by her crush. Sure. Breakfast table. They were eating breakfast and Katsumi asked me a question. What is your quirk? There was a rumor started by the teachers that you awakened your quirk. Even though she knew the portal creation thing, she had to ask as it was a discussion in her school about it. I chalked on my food, but answered nevertheless. I won't tell you it full as I even don't know what it is, but it is similar to an RPG quirk with some extra boons. Please don't tell anyone though. This is my trust in you. I will show you more, but not today. What was the portal you used yesterday? Now I chalked on my food again. With the quirk of my eyebrow, there was a question that she was trying to deny. I wanted to speak to you yesterday, but then I followed you to the park and saw you enter a portal with Maruko jumping in. Fine, after the daily exercises I get a mystery box. In those boxes I can get anything from a pen to a key. It is a key that opens those portals up where I improve my skills and level up. Can you take me to one? Sure, but I don't have any keys at the moment. Which was a lie. I had one to the Heaven's Castle, but I was waiting to improve my stats and have more space in my shadow army. And Katsumi was not ready for it, although Rumi could be ready with more training. After we ate our breakfast and tidied up the place, I asked, wasn't Annie worried about you? Nope. Yep, that's Kaken. I went on my phone and told Kaken something. I need to call Dad. He called me last night. With a nod, I went to my room and called him. It took a couple of seconds, but it connected. Hey, Dad. Hey, Aizu. How are you? He said with a gruff but friendly voice over the phone. No doubt he is taking a break from his night shift in USA. I am good. Sorry I couldn't answer my phone yesterday. Don't worry. I just wanted to inform you that the company I am working for will be having a HQ in Japan and I will be the top manager here. So we can be seeing more. That is great, Dad. I cannot wait. How is your time after the coma treating you? It is going great. I unlocked my quirk after waking up, so it is even great. That is good to know. Your chances at UA will increase too. By the way, why is your voice deeper? Did you go through puberty? I became a little frantic and replied, kinda yeah. Anyways, Dad, it was nice talking to you again. I hope we can spend some time when you arrive here, as I did grow during this time too. Sure, kiddo, I will be there in around summertime. See you, Aizu. Bye, Dad. With that, I hanged up. I quickly messaged Rumi back. She told me that this is her number, and I asked how she is feeling after that night. Walking to find Kaken on the sofa, lying down with her legs dangling from the side of it. She smiled and asked, ready? Smirking, I replied, just keep up with me. Bet. Sometime later, she barely could. The running was fine, but when we were doing exercises such as push-ups, sit-ups, and whatnot, she couldn't keep up with my speed. Is little Kaken not able to keep up with me? Hissing, she replied, Don't look down on me. This was my opportunity, previously Kakin, and I wear the same height, but now I am taller than her by a margin. But I am looking down at you. Look how short you are, I smirked. One day I will kill you, Izuku. We will see. Let's get a drink. Seeing as she was tired, I walked towards a vending machine and got 2 waters out. Giving one to her, she nodded in thanks and drank. Thanks, nerd. Sure. I was stretching, get my muscles loosen up after the exercise. I was wearing green shorts with black leggings under it, with a black shirt that kind of showed my muscles. I still don't get why a lot of women were looking at me then looked away. But then again, Kakin was probably scaring them off, trying to explode them for some reason. Walking in front of Kakin by 2 meters, I continued to stretch whilst she was looking. I then saw the hero from last night. I waved at her. She somehow noticed and jumped towards me with a lazy Luna kick, which I blocked with the use of my hidden gauntlet. Sup bun. Why so feisty today? Imagine only getting less than an hour of sleep and then having a full day of patrolling with a lot of minor crimes. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I can't imagine that yet. I offered some of my water to her, which she took happily and drank some before giving the rest to me. Hey nerd, is that Maruko? The blonde had a small twitch of the eye seeing what occurred between the two. Sure is. Bun meet my friend Katsumi Bakugo. Kakin meet Maruko. The two looked at each other. With some reason they feel threatened by each other, with me not knowing that tidbit of information. Nice meeting a friend of Zuku's. Like wise, Bakugo spat out a little less than usual as she knew this was a pro hero. Why are you patrolling here? I thought you patrol in a different city. I asked innocently. Oh, that. I can patrol anywhere as I don't have a set location such as Endeavor or Hawks. Nodding at that. So what have you been up to? Nothing. Just doing my daily exercise, and Kakin decided to join me. For some reason, Katsumi was giving a death glare at Maruko, who was doing the same. Hey. Girls, am I interrupting something? This got them out of their funk. Nope, /TCH. That's what they said. Maruko then asked, when are you free? Tomorrow. She nodded. That a date then? This caused me to splatter out words, with Kakin doing the same. Date? Duh. I told you yesterday we are going out for dinner. I just sighed but nodded. Fine. Message me the details. She gave a nod and a victorious smirk at Bakugo. Then Kakin spoke up in this conversation. Anyways, me and Izuku are going. See you never, Maruko. With that, the ash blonde pulled me away, similar to the cat policeman. I gave a wave to Maruko, who waved back and continued her patrol. Bakugo, on the other hand, was sprouting out ways to kill the bunny and how she can cook the rabbit up. Then there was me chuckling good-naturedly while still being pulled. Bakugo household. I took Katsumi back to her house after we finished our exercise. I guess I will see you at UA then, Kakin. Don't die, nerd, and call me when you are going to one of those. I will see when I will get another one. With Katsumi hugging me, causing me to become a little surprised. She then left to her house and I took off at a jogging speed home. With Katsumi, third POV. When she entered her house, her parents were in front of her. Mitsuki and Masaru Bakugo, both of them in their late 30s, but Mitsuki could be said to be in her mid-20s due to her quirk. So, young lady, where were you last night? Tisich, none of your damn business, old hag. Masaru then asked, interrupting the bickering between the two women he loved. So with Izuku he? This caused her to freeze up. And what? So when are we expecting grandbabies? A blush appeared on her face with some explosions coming off her hands. Not for a while. I also have competition. Don't tell me Izuku is still dense, but seeing how he changed after his coma, no wonders more women want him. This caused her eyes to widen. More women. Kill all women. Kill Maruko. With that, she left to her room. When the daughter of the two left, Masaru asked, did she mention Maruko? The rabbit hero? Do you think her competition is Maruko? They said at the same time. They nodded as a response, as they do want to see Izuku as their son-in-law. Izuku next day date. Izuku was worried. He had a date and Rumi said to dress more formally. He used the system to buy his outfit as he too lazy to go out and buy one himself, even though he discovered he could exchange gold to yen and vice versa. The exchange rate was 1 G to 500 yen. So the dagger that costed him 2,800,000 G is actually 1,400,000,000 yen or 1.4 billion yen. He could be a millionaire if he counted it in dollars or pounds. So he exchanged 2,000 gold into yen and came out with 1 million yen in case of today, knowing that he won't even need that much, but being over-prepared never hurts. He needs to think if he wants to buy a house or not, as UA will be implementing dorms, but that a thought for the future. The clothes he gotten were black trousers with a gray shirt, which is rolled up showing his forearms. He bought a blazer and a tie just in case, but he left it be in his inventory. He even asked Igris about his opinion, but he nodded and gave thumbs up. He looked proud for some reason, oh well. Izuku did leave towards the barber's to get his hair cut. The sides were gone, which were black in color, and the top of head was a messy but good-looking type of hair with green tips. It looks like his hair is on green fire. Our protagonist will meet her in front of her house. So he bought some flowers and a small gift. After another hour of riding the train to her place, he was receiving a lot of looks, especially from the female populace. He heard whispers of people saying that he will be going on a date and so on. Shaking his head, he arrived at Rumi's house and knocked on the door. When the door opened, his mouth nearly dropped. "You look stunning, Rumi." She did. Her hair was tied in a bun. A black dress that reached her knees with an opening for her tail. It has a slit on the right thigh for more skin exposure. "You look pretty good yourself, Izuku." Izuku smiled at her and gave the present and the flowers to Rumi. She thanked him and invited him inside quickly. She opened the present and started to laugh. "You seriously gotten me a golden carrot?" Izuku started to laugh too. "Well, don't you like carrots? And a gold one should give you a boost too? Don't you know Minecraft's golden carrot?" Then both of them started to laugh. "Geez, this is gold." She laughed at her own pun, which Izuku too joined in. After calming down, "There is a restaurant I want to go in, but you need at least 2 people to enter in formal wear." "Ah, that is interesting. We walking or by car or train?" "It is pretty close. A 10-minute walk." With both of them smiling, walking out with Rumi locking the door. Whilst they were walking, they linked arms and began to talk like they haven't seen each other for ages. Neither paid attention to the crowd that was watching them and taking pictures whilst they talked. Reaching the restaurant, it was a high-end place that served sushi and other seafood dishes. They continued to talk before ordering, after ordering, before eating and after eating. It was like they could never finish a conversation. During eating, the atmosphere didn't feel awkward but felt natural to them, as if they were doing it for 1,000th time. Rumi was having a blast. Not only didn't she have to rub her nose, but openly breathed in Izuku's scent. Neither of them ordered alcohol. Firstly, Izuku was 16, with Rumi being a responsible hero and had patrol tomorrow morning. After their dinner, Izuku took Rumi to one of his favorite places in town. It was a 20-minute walk, but when they got onto a hill, Izuku produced a blanket and they both sat down whilst watching the sunset. "It's beautiful?" "Yeah, it is." Rumi was leaning her head onto Izuku's shoulder, whilst he was leaning his head onto Rumi's head. Jumping in the near-death zone was worth it. This caused Izuku to chuckle. I think it was after the sun was set. Izuku took her back to her house. At the house of the pro-hero, Maruko kissed him on the cheek and whispered, "I hope we can do it again," smiling back and giving her a hug. "Me too, Rumi." He waited until she closed the door and began to walk to the train station. The shadows apparently were congratulating Izuku by clapping for some reason. He was pretty happy about how it turned out. The next day, Maruko was on the news with an apparent boyfriend. It showed them walking, eating, laughing, and looking both amazingly. Rumi had to call Izuku the next day to call if he saw what she had seen. They both laughed at it and said that they didn't realize the people were around them. Katsumi was gritting her teeth at this. Honestly, she remembered when she was exercising with Izuku when that rabbit woman stole her man. She just had to wonder what on earth happened in the portal to make the two close, not knowing it was nearly dying multiple times. It was 17 weeks after he woke up from his coma, and just less than 8 weeks after his first official meeting with Rumi. During the 8 weeks, Izuku was doing nothing much but spar with Maruko and occasionally with Katsumi, going on a date each week with Rumi and going to 2D rank gates. He did not even save the boss shadows, as it was pretty useless when a normal level showdown can take it on and win easily. He took both girls into the dungeon each. With Maruko was to let up some of her steam, and for Katsumi was to show how it is. He only leveled up 3 times during the 2 gates thanks to his shadows. Luckily for him, he improved his skills. Stealth was level 2 and Fireball level 2 too, but speed became level 3. But in all honesty, stealth was the one which needed to level up most so it can be effectively used. Skill: Sprint LV.3, active. Uses 35 MP to start, then uses 1 MP per minute it used. The total speed increases by 45%. Skill: Fireball LV.2, active. With the use of 50 MP, you can use fireballs to attack. It can deal a maximum of 600 HP damage. Skill: Stealth LV.2, active. It requires 200 MP to activate and 9 MP per second to use it for a longer period of time. You become invisible to the naked eye with sound, smell, and presence erased. Continuing with the skill talk, Izuku bought a rune stone that can make him an all-rounder. A healing one. Yes, it was pretty weak, but leveling that up should make more dangerous injuries heal. But the problem is that he can't heal anyone without a license legally, so he has been practicing it on Rumi and himself whenever either one got injured. Skill. Healer LV.1, active. Can heal small, mostly wounds. As the skill's level increases more, healing major wounds to making an organ grow back is possible. The current speed is slow, 30 mana per second. Rumi actually recommended him to UA, which was a surprise which he took. It was a day earlier than the normal exams, so there won't be many people, but being a participant you needed to be recommended by a high-ranking hero or from a really wealthy family such as the Yaoyorozus. So with Maruko next to him, they walked into UA. Before the coma, Izuku would have definitely have a fanboy breakdown just being here, but now he had a smile. He and Rumi continued to talk about everything and nothing, with people recognizing both of them from the media. Even though Rumi is 20 and Izuku is 16, not many people actually call her a cradle robber, as in honesty Izuku looked like an 18-year-old. UA was a massive school with the main teaching facilities in a 4-tower interconnected building. They walked into a gym and continued talking like nothing is happening around them. Izuku checked his stats just to reassure himself, and he was happy with them. After the job change, he collected 168 additional points with the 15 he gotten during the Gate 2. The different stat scores rose up and in result caused Izuku to be stronger. Although the only reason he is probably concentrating on intelligence was to increase him MP as it is low. He thanked the gods that he received 600 MP, as adding 1 point to int gave him 5 MP. The reason behind it is when a shadow gets hit or destroyed, they don't die but regenerate, and his mana is used to heal them up. Though the necklace from St. Peter was useful. The save shadow and extraction increase randomly, as he has noted during the weeks, which was confusing for Izuku. Now for the foreseeable future, his goal is to increase the levels of his skills, which increase mainly during gates. Status: name, Izuku Midoriya. Job, Shadow Monarch. Title, the one who overcame adversary, +1, level, 54 fatigue, 0 HP, 13500 MP, 2215 strength, 155 agility, 130 sense, 120 vitality, 160 intelligence, 217 remaining points, 0 physical damage reduction, 12%, plus 32%, physical pain nullification, 17%, skills, passive unknown, max, muscularity, LV.1, advanced dagger arts, LV.2, advanced spear arts, LV.1, active sprint, LV.3, bloodlust, LV.1, fireball, LV.2, vital strike, LV.2, stealth, LV.2, dominator's touch, LV.1, spear throw, LV.1, healer, LV.1, job specific, shadow extraction, LV.1, 40/85 save shadow, LV.1, 40/65. He looked around and saw a lot of recommended students, including himself only 30. The people they came with are people like Endeavor, who was eyeing him for some reason. There were a couple of Hurios in the top 50 and some influential families too. There was one strong signature that Izuku sensed, and high B-rank aura was coming from a bold-haired teen. Then all became quiet. A mouse thingy that walks on his hind legs came out. It was Nizu, the headmaster of the school. Hello everyone. Am I a dog? A mouse? I am Nizu and welcome to the recommendation exam. This exam will be split in 3 portions, a written, practical, and an interview. So please can the recommended students walk through to the next area. Maruko then looked to Izuku and spoke so only he or people with enhanced hearing could hear. Don't fuck the interview up. I know how blunt you can be with people you don't know. Fine. I will try not to mess the interview up. With a slightly louder tone, she spoke with a smile. Good luck though, even though you don't need it. Thanks, Bun Bun. Izuku smiled lovingly with him turning and walking forward with the rest, ignoring the other people looking at the duo, only thinking, why only the interview portion? Written exam. The examiner was Ectoplasm. With his clones, he said, you have an hour to finish this exam. After you finish the exam, please stay in your seat and turn the paper over. It will be collected after the exam, and if you have any questions, Please raise your hand up. With a nod, they got the exams. When the hour started, he got a notification. 60 minutes, 0 seconds. 59 minutes, 59 seconds. The first question was some history about pre-Quirk Japan. It continued on with some geography, English, maths, and some Quirk and hero-related questions. He took 45 minutes. He looked around and saw some students stressed as they didn't even finish half of the book. Izuku theorized it was to help people with intelligence quirks or even time management. 0 minutes, 0 seconds. This was when the exam finished. Apparently only him and a female student finished the exam in time. The other 28 students were either complaining that they didn't finish the exam, which he could hear complain. The next teacher, Present Mike, came and took the students for the next part, while some teachers began marking the exam. Practical exam. Present Mike shouted/said, "Okay, little listeners. For this part of the exam, you will be subjected to a race. The race will have obstacles, so be careful, everyone. There will be 6 races in total with 5 participants each. The only rules are that you cannot go out of bound and don't hurt or interfere with any other students." The first 5 names were shouted, so they started to begin the race. A bold student came up to Izuku and introduced himself with a 180 bow. "My name is Inesa Yurashi. Who might you be?" he stated with an exuberant tone. With a smile, "Let me heal you up first, using healer." Izuku healed Inesa in 3 seconds. "My name is Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you, Inesa. Do you have a healing quirk?" This made a lot of people glance at him with the corner of their eye. "It is a part of my quirk. But no, my quirk is something else," Izuku said. Then the next 5 people went and began their race. "I see. Are you ready for the obstacle course?" Still with the exuberant tone, Inesa asked. "Definitely. I am guessing you are prepared too? My quirk is perfect for this race." "That is good." Before the coma, Izuku would have been nerding out with the opportunity of seeing a new quirk, but now thanks to his gamer's mind, he doesn't mumble and doesn't nerd out. The next 5 participants went off, while the 10 that were on one side panting. The 2 boys stood in comfortable silence when Izuku spoke in a questioning tone, even if it wasn't structured as a question. "The girl with the black ponytail has some sort of creation quirk. She is probably using her fat cells as energy or the atoms needed to create skates or the spring boots." The taller boy, who was only 10 centimeters taller than Izuku, who had reached 180 in height, blinked dumbly. "How did you figure it out so quickly?" "I like to analyze quirks and breaking them down to the basic components. So it is easier analyzing after some time of practicing." Then the next 5 went. "We are in the next 2 races." Inesa replied with a nod. It was only a couple of minutes later when Izuku and Inesa were called. The 3 other participants were Shoto Todoroki, a purple-haired girl that looks cockily with the same smile, and a boy with straight black hair parting in the middle like the Red Sea. W/N, a god in ancient Egyptian mythology, saved the Israelites from their enemy by splitting the Red Sea. They were stretching, getting ready for the bang. After 10 seconds, the bang began. Izuku used sprint whilst Inesa used a wind tornado. The first obstacle was a large jump where one needs to jump or get across, but the difference was 4 meters from each side. Izuku jumped easily and continued to his next obstacle. The next one was a monkey bar kind of obstacle with softballs being shot from cannons. Izuku pulled upwards on top of the bars and started sprinting again. Continuing on, the next obstacle was an 8-meter wall. Midoriya smirked a little and used fireball, smashing the wall, allowing him to get through. There was only 100 m to the finish line, and he used sprint once again to gain the final result of 37 seconds. The next one was Inesa with the speed of 1 minute and 59 seconds. Todoroki came in third with 2 minutes on the dot. Fourthly, the boy with the split hair with the speed of 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Lastly, the cocky-looking girl got 4 minutes and 24 seconds, and now she didn't wear her cocky smile. Izuku lost around 150 MP, which he was happy about, and it being regenerated by High Magician's Ring. With Maruko during the written exam, she was having some water and munching on those golden carrots Izuku gave her. Honestly, they were the best carrots out there, and oh, she loved the taste. If she could, she would marry Izuku right now, but she needs to ask him out, as she can clearly see Izuku is developing feelings but is still dense. She was enjoying her thoughts of the time spent with Izuku and was hoping for going to a high gate with him at one point, though her thoughts were broken by endeavor. "Maruko, you are the only top 10 hero here except me." "Ah, it's the number 2. How are you?" The so-called number 2 grunted. "Who is your brat?" Frowning at the wording of Enji Todoroki. "I met him a couple of months ago and we kept in contact. We even spared, and trust me, his punches are something else, though with the other parts with his quirk." Never themed. Who is yours? She stopped not to tell him more of her crush's quirk. Heck, if she reveals that he can give anyone runestones, villains, heroes, and the HSBC will all over him. Rumi is still lucky to have the ability to use Dominator's touch, but she uses it in dungeons. Endeavor raised an eyebrow when he heard other parts of his quirk, but then mind gone to his. He is my greatest creation, Shoto. He has both parts of mine and his mother's quirks. He will beat your brat. We will see. After the race, we can see Maruko laughing her ass off with the look Endeavor was giving. What did you say? He will beat your brat. Wow, that was the best joke in this exam. Eyebrow twitching. What is the quirk of the Midoriya kid? Oh, now you want to know? Why? TCH, he used some kind of fire and his speed is pretty good. Smirking, she answered, I won't tell you, Mr. Number 2. Even in his quirk registry, it is a vague answer but not the truth. Shouldn't the registry have the full knowledge of a quirk? Endeavor asked, bewildered. Not really, they only want a basic name. If it isn't a lie, it's acceptable. Just look at All Might's one. It says Strength Enhancer, but look at his speed and near invulnerability. His quirk isn't fully explained. TCH. With that, the only 2 top 10 heroes stopped their conversations and waited for their recommended students to finish the interview. Whilst Endeavor wanted to know more, possibly his failure of Shoto's twin can be in a marriage him. Interview part of the exam. Can I have Izuku Midoriya? A scruffy man asked with a gray scarf on him. Good luck, Izuku. Inasa said. Thanks, Inasa. Good luck to you too, and hopefully see you in UA. Izuku said and received a nod from Inasa. Going in the room, Izuku could see 3 people. Nizu the headmaster, Midnight who licked her lips, and Eraserhead who is nearly asleep. Good evening, Nizu, Midnight, and Eraserhead. Izuku greeted with a bow. This caused 2 of the 3 have their eyes slightly widened, with the last one, Nizu, having a small smile, and with that he started. Good evening to you too, Midoriya. Before we start, how do you recognize Eraserhead? Before my quirk awakened after the coma, I was interested in heroes who fight practically quirkless, such as Eraserhead. I didn't have a lot of information, but I can guess the basic appearance of an underground hero, and he is one of the most famous underground heroes to boot. Receiving a nod, Midnight continued, on your papers, your quirk is called Adaptation, but we could see different things during the race. Why is that? It is true, I can adapt myself for better situation. But the person did the exam said I have another aspect to my quirk. If I revealed my true quirk, I would be placing myself and my close ones in danger, as I would be a target for villains, power-hungry heroes, and HPSC. Izuku explained with a straight face. Their eyes widened, one with excitement. Aizawa spoke up. Will you tell us? It depends if I get accepted or not, and if Nizu will tell the HSPC. Nizu then answered, I am actually plotting against the HPSC. But please continue with why would the HPSC be interested in you? Sighing, you know the HPSC have their own heroes, right? Receiving a nod from their heads. Majority of those heroes were trained by them by birth, such as Hawks. I have met Lady Nagant before she was arrested, and there was something off about her. I did some digging on her and found out that she was used to kill heroes who make the balance break. Why do you think there are not many heroes with powerful quirks such as All Might or even Endeavors? This left the trio hanging, although one had a theory. That is sadly true. Nizu stated caused Namuri's eyes to widen, with Aizawa to have his eyes minimally open. I am curious though, how did you find that out? When a quirkless child is bored, they learn other skills to help their chances of becoming a hero. Smirking, that is fascinating. Why do you want to become a hero? At the beginning, I wanted to be like All Might, throwing a smile in the face of danger and saving the people with that said smile. Now, after I saw the real world, I want to protect my loved ones, but also the society, as we know All Might is losing his time due to the injury. A light smirk appeared with Izuku crossing his leg over the other. Midnight and Eraserhead stood up, and with the later one asked, how do you know? Chuckling, there was a sludge villain attack around 10 months ago. They nodded their heads, remembering the news. All Might saved me before, and my stupid quirkless self had to jump on his legs when he was jumping to ask him, can I become a hero without a quirk? This got all 3 to listen in closely. He said no. That was after he transformed into the Small Might form, as I like to call it, and showed me his injury. Apparently, there was someone stronger than him 5 years ago who made that injury. The only people who could have a chance to do that are Star and Stripe, but she is a hero and a massive All Might fan. Vladimir from Russia, but he was in his own country during that year, and he is a hero. There are some other heroes that could do that, but it was probably a villain. Only one person comes in mind. Nizu's mind froze, whilst the other two listened to his every word. There was a rumor of a man who can steal and give quirks who was born over 200 years ago. With that, I made a theory that that man stole a lot of quirks at the beginning of the Quirk Society, and there must have been someone with a quirk such as longevity, and with a couple enhancement quirks he could still live today. He continues gaining quirks even if All Might apparently killed him. Aizawa was too curious. How did you find out? Remember when I said I was bored? Yeah, with some digging, I used the dark web and tried to figure who that man was. But the amount of people who still are scared of the dark overlord of the underground is one reason why we are still fairly peaceful, meaning he is still alive. Nizu then continued, the Yakuza especially are hiding with other villain groups as if they show too much. That man's underlings may come to the group and take the people with useful quirks. This won't be reported as the heroes will arrest them. I just realized that what you are saying may be true. Namuri and Aizawa froze. The injury in All Might, the fucking symbol of peace, injured by that monster. Nizu, what can we do? If that man can injure All Might, then what can we do? Instead of Nizu, as they expected, Izuku spoke up, using his intelligence to the fullest. There are multiple ways actually. Firstly, people with non-touch erasure quirks such as Eraserhead will cancel the quirks of that man, allowing people with physical enhancements or power-type mutants to deal with him and having long-range emitters around to shoot. Secondly, if you cannot subdue him, then killing would be necessary. Lady Nagant would be perfect as her distance of 1 kilometer or 2 would be useful as she won't be detected too. If you are worried about students, train your students with different type of quirks against them, from single combat to group combat, but with interschool training to make it more exciting and random. For the school, have better school defenses if something like an attack occurs, keeping in mind different ways of transportation. Couldn't have said it better myself. Nizu praised. I will give you an opportunity, Izuku. I am listening, Izuku said, leaning forward. The three can finally see his aura as the 16-year-old was being serious. They could feel the aura oozing out of the young man. He was definitely on an S-rank hero level, and he didn't show all of his cards. I want you to be my personal apprentice. This caused the other participants to blink in stupor. Why though? That was the question from Izuku. Your skills even when quirkless would be definitely useful as a hero, but even now with a quirk you are not arrogant and give perfect explanations. Your analytical mind is top-notch, analyzing Momo Yairozu quirk in a second, and even now when Aizawa asked the question, your strategy planning was logical and possible. Thank you, sir? But what will I get out of it if I accept? I heard rumors that your intelligence is really high, but even so, if I get accepted, why would I choose to study with you than have normal classes? Izuku countered. That is a fair point. As you are aware, we are going to have dorms this academic year. You will continue your lessons with your class, but you will learn other skills with me. Hacking, analysis, leadership, and how to deal with officials. As with your aura alone states you are powerful, so you will be probably talking with people such as the chairwoman of the HPSC or high political powers that can ruin one sadly. That is a fair counter-argument. Especially with talking to people, as currently I can easily offend someone without knowing. That is why Maruko said good luck with the interview. However, even so, what will be your gain in all of this, as this is not an everyday opportunity? This shocked the two pro-heroes to the side of Nizu. Not only Izuku was arguing with Nizu peacefully, but also isn't afraid to say his mind. That was probably why he mentioned offend people easily. Ha ha ha, simple. You are not afraid to say your mind and opinion. You can see the black, white, and gray area of heroics, and conversing with you has been enlightening. Additionally, having someone to fill in my shoes when a time comes when I am not available is a reassurance. How about we talk in private, as I want to show you more of my abilities. I will show them to my teacher eventually. Izuku offered. Perfect. Midnight. Eraserhead, please can you get Hound Dog and continue the interview without me? With that, the two left with Nizu standing on Izuku's shoulder to a separate room. Did they just leave us? Namuri asked. The better question is, why did Nizu decide on an apprentice? Aizawa countered. With the mouse god and soon-to-be god, they went to the headmaster's office where they sat on the opposite sides on the sofas. Nizu offered. Yes, please. I will message Maruko quickly that it will take a while. Nizu agreed and Izuku messaged Maruko that he is speaking to Nizu. She replied that she will wait anyways. Taking a sip of the tea, Izuku replied, Ah, delicious. Would you want cheese? Nezi offered. Izuku smirked but said, What is your favorite cheese? This confused Nizu. It is Gorgonzola Picante. Why? Going to his shop option, he bought said cheese. There you are, Gorgonzola Picante. and handed 5 kilograms of that cheese to Nizu, who had sparkles in his eyes. Is part of your quirk and space-time inventory system? Yes. But firstly, is the room silence proof? It is. Also, there are no cameras, only sensors due to some meetings that happen here. Good, that part is the shop option. Anyways, at first I thought my quirk was an RPG quirk like in the games where you play. I then figured out that I can receive keys to dungeons where I kill the monsters and level up. This caused widening of Nizu's eyes. Then he caught something. What is it now? I recently had a job change quest. I was in a dungeon where Maruko followed me due to her interest in me. I received my job there, which was Shadow Monarch. Shadow Monarch? Nizu asked, confused. Let me show you. Come forth. Then behind him Igris, 3 mages and 10 knights came out, spooking Nizu out. After I kill the monster, I can turn them into my shadow soldier. I haven't been in any high-ranking bar 2, and only on my second one I gained the job. This isn't my full army, but it is some of them. Oh, so interesting. How strong are they? The knights alone are C rank. The magicians are B rank, but are used as long-range support or support. Igris is my highest so far, he is an A rank. The dangerous thing is that they can even beat an S rank if I give them the mana required to regenerate. Izuku then said to them, "Thanks for showing up, guys. I will call you when I need you." With a bow from each of them, they returned to Izuku's shadow. What is the mana you speak of? It is a form of energy that I have. It also powers up my skills such as Fireball and the healing skill I recently got. I have one skill that is a form of telekinesis that doesn't require mana too. Earlier you mentioned that the villains, power-hungry heroes, and the HPSC will want you. Why? Simple. Remember when I told you I have a shop option? Getting a nod. I can buy rune stones or simply put, quirks, which some do require mana but some don't. This caused Nizu T to drop. Luckily Izuku used Dominator's Touch to levitate it and put it on the table. What skills do you have? And I am sure not all skills were gained by the shop. That is correct, Nizu. I have 14 skills. 4 of them are passive, 8 of them are active-based ones, and 2 of them are job-specific. The 2 job-specific is Shadow Extraction and Shadow Storage, which is pretty self-explanatory. I got them when I received my job. The 4 passives are Muscularity, which helps me with when my health level is too low, Advanced Dagger and Spear Arts, which helps me with the use of daggers and spears. Lastly, the unknown one, which I still have no idea of how I got. The 2 arts were created because I used daggers and spears as my main weapon, and Muscularity was born by an accident. The active-based ones, Sprint, Vital Strike, and Spear Throw, were the ones I learnt naturally. The explanations are self-explanatory. I bought Stealth, Healer, and Fireball. From some gates or quests I received Bloodlust and Dominator's Touch. All of them are self-explanatory, with Dominator's Touch being telekinesis. When I max a skill, it can upgrade to a better skill, or when 2 similar merge with one to make a better one. Fascinating, completely fascinating. And you said you only have the quirk for only 4 months. Giving a nod, Nizu continued. I can see why you would want to be kidnapped or used by some parties. Don't worry, my mouth will be closed with you buying skills. I do want to know, would you be able to heal All Might? If I upgrade my healing skill, I can only use it for scrapes, cuts, and first-degree burns. If I level up, I can recreate organs and missing body parts, or so the description says. Do you want to be trained by Recovery Girl? It will surely improve your skill level. I would love that. When I get situated in my dorm, I will meet her. That is great. I will mention you to her. Also wait a week for the formal paperwork to be sent to you, otherwise you are in. As for being my apprentice, we will have a couple of hours after school per week, as you will be living in the dorms. Thank you, Nizu. See you soon. With a bow, he left to meet Maruko. I am glad that the child didn't take the path of villainy. Being quirkless in this society is very hard. Nizu thought internally. With Maruko, she was told that Izuku will have a talk with Nizu, and it is taking over an hour. When she sees him waving at her, she runs up to him and tries to double kick his stomach. He dodges and says, "Sorry, Bun Bun, that I took so long. Let's get something to eat and I will explain everything." TCH, fine, but you are paying. So after an explanation, Maruko was there dumbfounded. So let me get it straight. Nizu made you his apprentice and you told him about your own quirk. Yes, only you and him know about it. Congrats on going to UA though. When workplaces come during UA, you are interning with me. Sure thing, Izuku said with a smile. I have to be patrolling the north side of Japan for a while, so I will come back just before the sports festival. Rumi informed. Have fun. But text me or call me whenever you want, okay? With a small smile of pure happiness, she replied, "Sure thing, Aizu." Izuku walked her home and this time kissed Rumi's cheek. This caused her to internally jump, and in real world they said their goodbyes. Jeju Island midday. A portal opens with one ant with wings coming out. It looked around and then entered the portal once again, which then closes. And that's a wrap for today's explosive installment of What If Deku Had Solo Leveling System, Part 1. I hope you enjoyed the ride as much as I did. Remember, this is just the beginning, so don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that like button to help us reach our next 100 likes milestone. Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments. I'm always eager to hear from you, my unstoppable crew. Once again, a massive thank you to Michael Zilanka for inspiring this epic concept. Stay tuned, keep the energy high, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, legends.